All right. Hi, everybody. It's 10:52, so I'm starting 8 minutes early, but what the hell? All right. Well, we'll just kind of talk for a little bit, wait for a few more folks to get in here to see what we're going to do. Because as you can see in the tin, it says choices, choices, choices. And it's a lot. So we'll get there. So, any baseball gaming news? Well, possibly. So, Craig Harris has told those of us who are in the Facebook group for Pocket Pennant Run to look for a announcement tomorrow in Facebook. So I'm hoping that means the update is finally coming out. And that was kind of one of the catalysts or one of the things that sort of led me to talk about choices and what we want to do going forward with this McGreevy League. I'm going to do it regardless, even if there's nobody else. I'm hoping there will be. But, our community's it's gone through a lot of changes and everything, and that's understandable. So this is a league that, hey, there's Robert. Nobody told me there'd be days like these. John Lennon, that definitely counts. Good evening, Robert. And then after we run through our choices and stuff, maybe we'll have a little baseball chinwag or something. Hey, Mike, welcome in. How you doing, man? I've been busy. I know that you answered me in the Out of the Park forums. I just got to read that. So hang in there, man. It's good to see you. So, little history. So the McGreevy League was a project that we started 2023, end of 2022, actually. And at that time, we were using the baseball history collection from DK Sports using Action PC Baseball. And if you don't have the baseball history collection and you do have Action PC Baseball, why the hell don't you have the baseball history collection? It's one of the most amazing things that you can get for that game, and indeed for just playing digital baseball. And you can do it without spending a lot of money. Basically what it is, for those two of you out there that might not know, it's every retired player in baseball history, and what they've done is they've taken a peak slice of the player's career. So the longer his career, the shorter the slice, so that you get a better sense. You get the player at his peak, as it says on the tin. So obviously, I don't even know how many players are in it now. It's 20,000, I think. So imagine combinations, permutations, what you can do with it. It's fantastic. I showed on a video last year. I just set up the years 1960 to 1970, made up just 10 fake teams really quickly, assigned some managers to them, led a draft. I mean, the things you can do with the baseball history collection are just absolutely incredible, and especially nice if you don't want to be an Egypt like me, or not an Egypt. I'm not an Egypt for doing it, but if you don't want to buy every season in Action PC Baseball, you just want to have some fun with some what if baseball. The baseball history collection offers so much. Anyhow, that was a league that was comprised of players from 1893 to 1919, with one notable exception. So those of you who are in McGreevy before already know Arnold Hunter joining us. There's Bernie. Bernie, you and I need to sync up and get this World Series done with or started. I will, Robert. So good to see you guys sort of trickling in here. Hopefully cousin Ken Castro will get this announcement, because I know this league is something he's been waiting for since the end of the other McGreevy League. So and so anyhow, I think we had like 8 people. We had 10 clubs, we had like 8 people or something like that. And it was a lot of fun. And actually it was one of the things that helped bring a lot of people that had an interest in the double era of baseball kind of together and everything like that. And, out of McGreevy came the Shanks League, and then out of Shanks grew the Fields of Dreams League. And those guys are in season 7, if you can believe it. How about that? So best to them, as they, I think they had their opening day yesterday or the day before, something like that. So that's what's going on there. That's kind of Bernie. How I actually met MV. MV was out of baseball for a while. He just lost interest and found our McGreevy League. It was in process, and got involved. And of course, it was just so much fun and so gratifying. And not that I'm about building my channel, but the subscribership went through the roof with dead ball baseball. So I've kind of become sort of the dead ball baseball guy in the sports gaming community here. Even though I love all of baseball, that is my area of that I really like to study the most is dead ball era baseball. So we've been talking about, doing different projects and things like that. And for a while I was involved with Fields of Dreams until too many things came up, personal life. And now, especially with getting back into professional sleight of hand magic and moving toward doing that as my livelihood. Not yet. We're not there yet. It's going to take a little while. But long story short, I've been missing the McGreevy League. So it's going to start up again. And now here we go. Cousin Ken, I'll probably have to just talk to him later because I want to get going with this. So I've been thinking about choices. And so I thought, well, it'd be really fun to do the McGreevy League this time in Out of the Park Baseball, because I want this league to be a low barrier of entry for people. And right now, I believe Out of the Park Baseball is on sale. It is on sale. I mean, this is like, yeah, it is. So it's on sale right now for $25. $25 for the King of Baseball Sims right here. Because I think that, unlike some other games where you have to buy all the seasons, for one price, you've got everything. Now, that being said, you don't need any of the, whatever game we would decide upon, and I'm still leaning toward this one, to play in this league. You don't. It's not going to cost you a penny, and it's going to cost you very little time. It's more like, let's just have a lot of fun with it again. So that was one of the factors toward wanting to use Out of the Park Baseball. You buy it, you got everything. Also, managing profiles. This game goes super, super, super deep. Deeper than the game that we used with McGreevy before, and it's not a knock on Action PC Baseball. But this can get down to the player level and manage certain aspects that Action PC doesn't. Now, the new Action PC comes out in about 2 weeks. Maybe that's all going to change. Who knows? So there's that as well. Plus, the customization Out of the Park Baseball is insane visually. So there is that as well. So that's one option. But I started thinking about some other options as well. So the first one is Pocket Pennant Run. And the reason being is because if you buy that software, right, you buy the game, let's say you just buy the PDF version, it's $14.99, and you have access to everything. It's such an amazing piece of software. I'm hoping that big update finally comes out tomorrow night. And because that also allows you, the reason I'm talking about this entry and why, for some of you might want to use a baseball sim that you already own or been thinking about buying, is that way when you create your teams and all the other teams are created, you could run through some dry runs, kind of, adjust your strategy. Now, Pocket Pennant Run doesn't really have like an AI manager that you can adjust. You can create tendencies for the manager in that, but it's not anywhere like Out of the Park Baseball or Action PC or a few others that I'm going to mention. But still, it would be a great way to do it. So I didn't want to do some sort of thing where people wouldn't have, if they wanted a way to get into this. We are going to have some exhibition games and stuff like that. So Pocket Pennant Run is definitely one to consider. All right, now moving on, I've posted a couple free baseball sims in the Discord. For those of you who are in the Discord, I hope you've downloaded them in all this time. Pure Sim Baseball and Strategy Baseball. So I really thought about doing it with, Pure Sim Baseball because it's free, and you get pretty much every season that we would be covering in the McGreevy League, and it's free. Strategy Baseball wouldn't be able to really do it in there, unfortunately, but I still recommend it. But it's just me thinking out loud. Another one that we could possibly use would be Diamond Mine Baseball. So again, it's a fairly inexpensive game. I think probably a lot of you have it. Am I using version 11 or 12? I can't remember. It's been a while. Version 12 is what I'm using. Okay. So you can get every free season for this from if you go on the Fans of Diamond Mine Baseball, I believe, from 1871 to 1926. So there would be 3 years of the McGreevy League it wouldn't cover if we decide to stay with the 20s. And that's the other thing I wanted to talk about tonight and get people's thoughts about adding in the decades that would be new to the McGreevy League. So we'll get to that. So Diamond Mine Baseball is an option. Another option, but this wouldn't be necessarily, unless you own the game, you really obviously wouldn't be able to play through it because it does replays really quickly and you don't have to hear my voice. I was also thinking of 2 other programs, either Baseball for Windows. So Ernie Harwell would be announcing the game, and it's a damn fine baseball engine running underneath, by the way. And with, I have so many micromanagers, I know I can find probably a manager that would have the kind of tendencies that you would want. There are literally thousands of micromanagers for that game. The other one is old time baseball. We can have Mel Allen call the game, or every once in a while we'll let Lon Simmons or somebody else take the mic. So you don't have to listen to me. So there's that option. So there's a lot of choices here. Digital Diamond Baseball is another one that we could use, and very inexpensive. The new Digital Diamond Baseball doesn't come out till March, so we'll be well done with McGreevy by March, or at least this version of McGreevy. So I'm trying to sort of sift through the choices. I'm still leaning most heavily toward out of the park baseball, unless there's some stronger voices or whatever people want to do. So I will give you the cliff notes. So of the new McGreevy League, Mike, yep, definitely. So here's the idea. Instead of confining ourselves to what we would consider the dead ball era, 1893 to 1919, thinking about actually starting with 1871 and going to 1929. So that way we add in the 20s, we start getting some more power hitters and stuff like that. And we also get to explore some players from the 1870s and the 1880s. Again, because it's just a what-if league, as even the most strict replay is. That's basically what it is. So on quote-unquote draft night, how this will differ from any project out there, including the ones that we've done, is that night, the only thing that's going to be random is the draft order. Okay? So Mike, let's say you're first up to draft. All you have to do is just name a player, not the year. Just in chat, you would just name a player. So let's say you would say Ty Cobb. All right, Bernie's up next. Bernie would say, Nap Lajoie, right? And then I'm just using names. I see you guys are involved. Robert's up, and Robert would say Babe Ruth. Okay, so then we would go through until you would have a 25-man team. Then you'd have to be a member of the Discord, but that costs nothing, right? In the Discord, what you would do is IM me not only those players again, but the year from that player's career. And here's the reason why I don't want this to be random, like other leagues, like Fields of Dreams, and even McGreevy was to an extent random, but not as much, is because I really want to encourage people to. Robert was talking about this last week, and so Mike, please do. Hey, John, good to see you. Okay, we already got John's vote. All right. So last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever it was, we had this little impromptu baseball chinwag. Robert was saying on his channel because he's doing dead ball, there were a lot of people that they don't know those players. They'll know some of the usual suspects. So the reverse happens with me when I do modern baseball. Nobody shows up. It's really weird. But I want McGreevy to be a chance for people to get to know players. And one way to get to know players is jumping into Baseball Reference, jumping into Total Baseball, Rob Neyer's big book of baseball lineups, whatever resources that you want to use, and to try to field the best team you can in those years. That's why there will be no trading in this at all. There's nothing wrong. Again, the Field of Dreams League, headed by Steve Tate, and Big Clue, I think that lends itself to trading. This one, at least in the first season, there's not going to be any trading whatsoever. So it's up to you. Now, what I have decided to do is no matter what years we pick, however the vote goes, the one autocratic decision I'm going to make is there's going to be no injuries in this game. Now, a lot of people will say, or in this league, people say, geez, that's really it's not realistic. In my mind, because this is such really a fantasy league, right? I'm thinking of the book from W.P. Kinsella, the Iowa Baseball Confederacy. Read the book. It's a baseball game that goes on forever in all times, and it's crazy. It's an amazing book. And so if you're fielding the best team possible, I don't want to say if somebody gets Christy Mathewson and Christy Mathewson, gets this serious injury in spring training and he's out until July. I want everybody to have every player available all the way through. So that way you also have these difficult situations of, let's say, during the whole thing, you've drafted 2 great center fielders. It's like, geez, who am I going to play? I want people to have to make those decisions because it's going to get you to know these baseball players a lot more. And I think you're going to find in what we learned, not only McGreevy, but what was then the Shanks League and then the Fields of Dreams League, is that we were learning about players. We never heard about this guy before. And so this is about celebrating baseball and a largely forgotten time of baseball, except for a few of us who do know these players. But this is to try to just get people into this. All right. So now let's get to Mike here. He says, so it's a single season game. How are you going to import those players and keep track of duplicates? There will be no duplicates. Okay. So I know I have it. Robert. Oh my God. Robert. He's already giving me shit. That's why I haven't given the invite yet. We'll get this out of the way and then we'll get Robert on here in a few moments. Believe me, it's not through not wanting to, my friend. So again, Mike, let's if we were to do a mock draft right now, all right. So let's say John DFW has first draft. John, if you're listening to me, okay, your first draft, you can pick any player between 1871 and 1929. Go ahead, just type in a player in chat. So maybe this will make sense, I think, Mike, once you see how this will work on that night. Super, super, super easy. There will be no doppelgangers in this league at all. We didn't have any in the first McGreevy league or the second one. Okay, so John has picked Babe Ruth. Now, Robert, I just indulge me, Robert. Give me a player between. Okay, so let's say Robert is number 2 in the draft. Robert, would you just name a player? That's all, just between 1871 and 1929. So right now, Mike, so Babe Ruth is not available to anybody else. So Babe Ruth would be on John DFW's team if this was our draft night. Now notice John's not giving me a year or anything. Okay, so now Robert has picked Walter Johnson. So let's say the third person up, maybe it's Dwayne Martz, right? Dwayne Martz being, he's big. Let's just say that he would pick Hugh Duffy, all right? Now, Hugh Duffy is on Dwayne's team, and so on. And that's it. So it'll go quickly. So you'll name these players, and maybe by the time the so-called draft, for lack of a better word, comes up, you've already researched player. The idea is you're going to pick what you believe is that player's best year. It doesn't have to be what anybody else agrees. So maybe, for instance, Robert takes how many teams? It's going to depend on the amount of owners. And to be honest, Mike, I don't. Unlike the Fields of Dreams League, which grew out of this indirectly, where they have 24 owners, there's not going to be 24 people interested in this era of baseball because it's just so different. It's a faster game. It's different tactics. And as Bernie will tell you, Bernie Strom, who, love the guy, man. He's my partner in crime, although I haven't been around much. Bernie, before he started really broadcasting and stuff like that, he really didn't know. He wasn't into dead ball baseball. Now he loves it. But he learned very quickly that if you think in modern baseball terms, playing dead ball baseball, you're going to get killed. And that was happening. And so when he started doing things like calling hits and runs or sacrifice bunts with his number 4 hitter, big turnaround. So it's a different way of thinking. Plus, there is the a lot of people aren't familiar with the dead ball era, apart from say Ty Cobb or Hannes Wagner, Lajoie, maybe Speaker. But if I would start bringing up guys, like Hal Chase, I think fewer people are going to know Hal Chase. Some people are going to know Lefty Williams because of the Black Sox, right? But maybe not many people are going to know about Bobby Wallace or Elmer Flick, Sam Thompson, Sam Crawford, guys like that, Ed Rulbach, Jack Feaster. So you're not going to be able to stack with Hall of Famers just precisely because of just the amount of years is still too small. Okay. Most underrated players in that era. Bill Dolan. There you go. Bill Dolan. No, this draft won't take days at all, Mike. Actually, we did the first McGreevy and we didn't know what the hell we were doing, and we got it done in one night. Once we retooled everything, the Shanks and Fields of Dreams League, those drafts took, I think, like 2 hours when we first started, or 3 hours, and they're down to like 40 minutes now. All you're doing is just naming a player. That's it. So it's not going to be like, okay, then the next night we're going to start the league. Then after you name your player, you're gonna go and research your players. So let's go back to the Babe Ruth choice, and we'll use Babe Ruth and Walter Johnson. So let's say John is looking at Babe Ruth's record. It's like, geez, do I go with 1921 where he hit 59 home runs and had this great slugging percentage? Or do I want to go with 1927? Maybe he wants to go with Babe Ruth as a pitcher strictly. Maybe he wants to do both. Walter Johnson, right? Yeah, 25-man. I think, John. I don't think we need to go any higher than that. 25-man rosters, which also makes it kind of interesting because bringing players in from the 1870s and 1880s, this is kind of fun because 19th century baseball, so this would be pre-modern, pre-1893 baseball, right? Baseball's still going through its changes, but now it's interesting to bring these players into a time that they didn't normally play, but you're still going to get a lot of innings out of these guys. Pitchers, for instance. If we would have gone with Action PC baseball, that game actually adjusts itself to rules for different years. So it's a great game for 19th century baseball if you play pitch by pitch, which we're not going to do. So, but Action PC, if people would vote for that, we have one vote already for Out of the Park. I'm guessing if Mike was involved, he would probably vote Out of the Park too. For those of you who don't know, this is Mike Garland, guys, here in the chat with us. I showed off a little bit of this amazing series of quick starts that he did in Out of the Park 25, splitting baseball down into decades and 20 years at a time and things like that. And it's amazing. Go get it. Go subscribe to it in the Steam Workshop. Download it. Go into Steam or go into Out of the Park Baseball and install it. It is truly amazing product. Normalized to what year? So we are going to normalize, John. And what I was thinking of doing, because we get guys in there like Jimmy Fox. So remember, Jimmy Fox's rookie year, I believe, is 1925, but he doesn't hit his first home run until 1927. But I didn't want guys like Ruth, Gehrig, Fox, Al Simmons, these sluggers coming in to dominate that way. So I think that there's got to be a little bit of a penalty for these guys. So we're probably going to normalize to make it fair in the 19th century, guys. John, we're probably going to go with 1900 again, just like we did. That seemed to work beautifully when we did McGreevy last time. So the league will most likely be normalized to 1900. So home run hitters are going to suffer a little bit. They're still going to hit home runs. They're going to still hit more home runs than the other guys. But, Babe Ruth isn't going to hit 60 home runs in 1900. So, and that also allows the guys from the 19th century to be in a more level playing field. John, if you remember in our first McGreevy league, we were seeing that the 19th century guys were doing horribly. And it was always a huge debt of thanks to Steve Tate for coming in and saying, hey, what are you guys doing? what years have you normalized to? And if you remember, we picked 1906 because we thought, hey, it's in the middle. What the hell? We picked 1906 National League. And Steve said, that's your problem. Here's why. And this is why the 19th century guys are doing horribly. We were seeing Wee Willie Keeler strike out like crazy. This is a guy who hardly ever struck out in his entire career, one of the game's greatest place hitters. So when we fixed it and restarted things to 1900, it played beautifully. So 1900 seems to be kind of like the sweet spot for that. So we can play around with it, but I think that's probably what's going to work. I think if we don't normalize it, we could run into some interesting, strange anomalies. Again, having not tried this in out of the park baseball, if this is the game we're going to do it with, it may handle normalization different than we saw in Action PC. I'm not really sure at this point. But so games like Pocket Pennant Run sort of auto-normalize, I guess, if you will, in a more generalized way. But I'm getting the sense that, I mean, unless this is an amazing, huge update, I don't know that we'll get down that route. I'm just trying to think of ways. I don't want to force people to buy anything. So the other way we could do it is pick a game, and then, like, if you want to make some tweaks to your team or whatever, we make those tweaks then before the season starts. So, and unlike, and anybody listening in, unlike Fields of Dreams Baseball, which I think is amazing, the reason I wanted to get rid of trading for this, again, is primarily because this is a chance for you to just field your best team. And there's no injuries, no anything. Plus the trading, when I was involved in the league, again, and then it's really fun, but the trading kind of became sort of a game on its own. And I want to try to keep the focus this time on the players and who you select, and as the best team that you think you can field. And again, it's going to be fun, and it's not going to be coming back and say, oh, geez, man, you picked a shitty team. No, if anything, we're all going to come out of this, I think, a lot of fun with it. Maybe all of us will learn about some players we never knew about before. Maybe we want to use those players in one of our projects, or maybe we want to read more, about these players. John also says, makes sense from what I've seen from out of the park so far. The big home run hitters will have lots of triples, which would make sense for the era, right? Because the big hit in the dead ball era was the triple. That was you were a power hitter if you hit triples, right? Because those guys had incredible speed, big, you had big ballparks too, right? I mean, Baker Bowl is the anomaly among dead ball parks. And also, a lot of people feel that dead ball baseball had a lot of low scoring games. That's not true. There were actually a lot of very high scoring games in dead ball era, but expect a lot of errors. There will be errors in every baseball sim I've ever run. You see that there's lots of errors. So that's basically it in a nutshell, Mike. You'll be able to pick your own team, your own colors, team name, whatever you want. But it's about time to get back to this, and I've missed it. During that period, while everybody's researching each player on his team, I'm hoping that Bernie and I can hook up here real soon. Maybe Bernie, I can catch you sometime tomorrow. Bernie and I have a World Series we have to do. So if you guys remember the Mac McGraw League, the regular season is done in that. So the 1906 Chicago Cubs won in the McGraw League, the one I was running. And Bernie, I don't remember who won. I'm guessing it was the Athletics, one of the versions of the Athletics. So the World Series will be happening on my channel and Bernie's channel. And that was done in Out of the Park Baseball. And Out of the Park did it really well. And boy, what a lot of surprises from that, especially in my side, the National League side, the Giants really stunk up the joint. I was really surprised. The New York Giants, that 1905 team. So 1906 Chicago Cubs against the 1910 Philadelphia A's. So that will be a kind of nice sort of ending to a really fun thing that Bernie and I kind of did separately, and now we'll come together to close off and to lead us into McGreevy. So I'm hoping, and I should put the Discord thing in here. I'm going to put the invitation to Discord if anybody's watching this later, before we get into the Chinwag part, which that usually, then we're way gone. I'm going to put the invitation to the Ned McGreevy League. Now, I will say for anybody listening to this, I am not putting anything at all. And I think Discord might be down right now. Yikes. We have John here. Maybe John would be nice enough to go ahead and put the invite to the Discord. So, guys, I'm not going to be putting anything into I think they call it Sports Dreams Replays or something. So this is strictly just going to be in the McGreevy Discord. So I'm not even going to be announcing games in the other one. I just think because they have so much stuff going on. They've got baseball, football, I think some other sports. I don't want to clutter up their Discord with the McGreevy League. So any announcements or any things like that will strictly be in the McGreevy Discord. That's it. And I want to thank John again many, many times over for creating the McGreevy Discord. It's amazing. So just so in case you guys who are in the Fields of Dreams Discord, or you're in both of them and you're not seeing anything in Fields of Dreams, nothing in this league will be posted there, just in the McGreevy Discord, to keep it kind of more focused and all that. And I'm not running back and forth trying to say, oh, well, who posted here, who posted there. This way, it's just easier to go back to our roots. So I'm going to put a link here now. If anybody wants to come on and talk a little bit of baseball, I don't know where Cousin Ken is, so I'll have to catch him up to speed later. Please feel free to join, and we get enough talking going. I'll do what I normally do, put on a Diamond Mine game in the background, and so you have something to read or whatever. Anybody, you're welcome to come on. I'll look for you in the green room. Guys, right there is the Discord link. Please join. It's called the McGreevy League. There it is. You'll see it. Even if you don't want to be in the league, please join, because we've got a lot of good discussion. It's a great community. And now let's welcome to all of this, Robert, RGO Network. Hey, my friend.
Let's see.
Don't even start.
Let's see. Where should I start? Let's see. I'm playing a wonderful, spectacular game between the St. Louis Browns and the Detroit Tigers in 1919. What a heck of a game. And I'm looking at my chat and I'm seeing, where's Beatles?
Where's
Beatles? Where are you? I'm playing dead ball. Where are you?
Oh, my God. My head hurts.
Suck.
Yeah, hey, bada boom, bada bing. Jeff Hunter joining us. Okay, so besides that, Robert, how are you?
Oh, just peachy. Just peachy. Just watched a little football today. Saw the Miami Hurricanes blow the big one against Syracuse.
Okay, not so good. I know you're a Florida guy.
Which was not very fun to watch. But then I did see my Panthers go ahead and turn the Carolina Hurricanes into a soft breeze. And,
All right, John, good night. Good night, man. And thank you again. I'll let you know what's going on.
Anything like that. But everything is cool. We got more baseball. We got a good game tomorrow. Would be nice if somebody joined me for it.
What time?
It's going to be around after the NFL, around 7:30.
Well, I don't follow NFL, so thank you for adding 7:30. Okay, who's playing?
It's going to be between the Boston Red Sox against the Chicago Cubs. The starting pitchers are Hall of Famer Herb Pennock for the Red Sox, and some bum for the Cubs named Pete Grover Cleveland Alexander.
Oh, yikes. All right.
If you want to see one great Hall of Famer against, one of the greatest of all time, which Pete Alexander was.
Well, the Pantheon.
By the way, the Red Sox have some bum hitting in right field. I think his name is George.
He's a scrub. I heard about that guy.
Scrub. Yeah, he's a scrub. He's not gonna. I don't think he's gonna amount to much in his career. I think the funny thing is, in that dead ball year, in that final year at dead ball in 1919. He did have, if I'm correct, I think he did bash
29.
About 29 home runs.
29 home runs. Yep.
29 home runs in the pull-up. Now, of course, that's at Fenway Park. So,
right.
Fenway Park, and of course, but yeah, baseball stadiums back in the day,
was damn hard to hit. It was damn hard to hit what we think of as a home run. I mean, that ball was soft, mushy,
You know, can you
everything.
imagine? I mean, today's ballparks. Today's ballparks, first of all, are a lot smaller
Yeah.
than the parks that they hit. I mean, what
Oh,
was
yeah.
it? League Park had what 450 feet or something like that.
Oh, yeah. And Huntington Avenue grounds was 520 to dead
Right,
center.
Huntington Avenue grounds. You know, friggin' Polo Grounds, of course, was deep. You know, before they even built. I mean, in 1919, what part of it it wasn't the full U shape it was yet. It was like half a U. In 1919. I mean, these ballpark. I mean, I gotta admit, I learned a lot about dead ball baseball just by playing this 1919 one and gone. Part of me would love to do a dead ball season somehow. I don't know, but unfortunately, Inside Pitch doesn't have that. By the way, I didn't remember. I told you, you know, you should still give Fall Classic a shot at 1908. But I'm going to tell you right now, if you do not purchase a Fall Classic with the 1908 season, I will get the 1908 season, and I'll do a one and gone tournament for that in the next off season after I do 1983.
Well, even if I do, why don't you do it? I think it'd be fun.
You know, then you get to see players like Christy Mathewson. You know, you get.
Oh my God, you get Mathewson, Feaster.
You know,
oh my God,
and also some guy. What was it? Was it Ed Delahanty?
Ed Delahanty. Well, you'll see some scrub at shortstop for the Pirates.
Monster.
Delahanty, yeah, Delahanty.
Monster.
He was unfortunately unfortunate end for Ed, but yes. Then you get that scrub Wagner at short for Pittsburgh. Don't know. I don't think he's going to amount to anything. But no, 1908 is such a great season. And again, both pennant races come down to the wire. The American League even closer. Right, American League decided by a half game. The National League, you had, of course, the Cubbies, and the Pirates and Giants were tied for second, a game back. Great pennant race. Great enough that a book was written about it too. Crazy 08. So even if I'm going to buy it, because again, Ken, you've talked highly about it. Ken Castro has been on me like brown on rice for like 2 years to get Fall Classic baseball.
It really is. It's a lot easier than people think it is. I mean, you get like I said, you get a copy of the season, and you should buy a printed copy. The cards are very nice to feel.
Oh yeah,
very nice in the hands. They're good card stock. You buy one fast action card deck. That's really all you need. Although I have all four of them, but there's four different ones. But just go ahead and one and just play.
So why is there four? Why is there four?
He created four different sets of fast action cards.
Yeah.
Pretty much each deck is different. Some of the layout, not layout, but some of the results are different on some cards.
Okay.
He pretty much but one deck it will do fine. But a lot of people like to get all four decks, and sometimes they like to, those randomly choose a deck, shuffle it, and
that's what I'm going to do. No, I'm going to go all in, brother. I'll get all four too.
What I've been doing is I've been using four fast action decks.
Okay.
And before I started the tournament, I shuffled every one of them, and then every game I take one deck and put it put it on the board here, and then use the cards up top. And I don't have to shuffle them anymore, really. I don't have to. I can go through the whole deck, so it won't matter.
Nice.
I'm still using dice to decide.
Okay.
But after I'm done with that game, the deck I just used goes to the back of the box. I'm using it, and then I move the next deck forward. So every deck I'm always doing something that's different with it.
Oh, cool.
Like I said, it plays very well. You get every player, even the ones that maybe pitched only an inning or only had one or two at bats. If they're not carded, you will get a PDF of every player. And pitchers, of course, as well. So if it's not carded, just print out the cards you need from the PDF, kind of like what I do for fringe players for Inside Pitch, because Inside Pitch cards every player. So what I do when I create a season, I immediately print out on card stock that current season I'm about to play, get it all set, move them on with the themes, and you can do that as well with Fall Classic. And
nice.
It's very, to me, I tried playing it first. I didn't give it enough time. Now that I've given it enough time, there's also a couple of rules have been cleared up for me
Mhm.
It plays very smooth. It plays very well. And I'm ready to think maybe if Inside Pitch is my favorite, it may be very close to maybe becoming second place right now for all time.
Wow.
Maybe,
That's high praise from you.
maybe. I also now I did take advantage of some Black Friday stuff, so I
Mhm.
did order a copy of History Maker Baseball.
Okay.
From finally pulled the trigger on that. I've been
Finally.
thinking of pulling a trigger on it, but I don't want any seasons. What I ordered was History Maker Baseball, History Maker Baseball Express. Okay, the cheap, the quick game,
Right.
and I ordered the all-time franchise greats.
Oh, cool.
Okay, the complete set.
Oh,
So I'm
nice.
getting all the best players from each team. So you can do a tournament with them or a couple or a nice series. You know, how about a Mets Dodgers series with Seaver and Koufax, and then next up Drysdale and Gooden or something like that, or a Yankees, series against, the Cardinals from the day when you have or maybe you could, and I know the cards are pretty much normalized, so they're going to play no matter how you do it. I want to say that I'm also a tennis fan, so I also ordered the women's tennis set for next year. I also have Let's Play Tennis from them, and I also have the Inside Volley.
Oh,
I like
cool.
tennis. My favorite player right now is Coco Gauff, because she
Okay.
actually lives right next to me. She's in Delray Beach. She's not far from me here.
Oh, nice.
And so I took some advantage of other stuff as well. Got some more Arkham Horror stuff coming my way, and I don't know if you've ever heard of that before.
Are you kidding me? I love Arkham Horror, man. I would sometimes sneak onto your streams and watch you play Arkham Horror, man.
Yes,
I love it.
I have everything Arkham Horror. I pretty much what I ordered was I reordered the newer versions. And the reason why, even though I had everything already, but the reason why I ordered the newer versions, there was some errata, so they did change some of the cards a little bit. So I reordered everything. So I have everything Arkham Horror, including Barkham Horror, that one where the meddling of me, where they have the cats and the dogs in the very hard to find. But when I grabbed it, I saw it at a good price a couple of years ago. I said, "Oh, I better get that because I know they're not going to reprint that." So I know I have everything Arkham Horror, every single expansion, all the standalones as well. And right now, I'm actually re-sleeving the revised core set that I have here as I talk to you. But Arkham Horror, I also have the Lord of the Rings. I always got all the Marvel Champion stuff too. I love playing Marvel Champions.
So Lord, you talking about the Lord of the Rings, the card game?
Yes, I have everything.
I have everything, almost everything. I love that game.
But the new stuff, I do not have any of the ones where they had the single packs.
Right.
Everything that was released, the re-releases, I have those. So I have the re-releases of everything. The second, pretty much, we want to say the revised sets I have.
So, guys, I know it's off the topic here, right? What Robert's talking about, but if you want to play a game that requires, some amazing tactical thinking, and everything, the Lord of the Rings card game is amazing. If you can play it, and Robert can expand upon this as well. You can you can play through scenarios and stuff like that, but you can also play the saga from The Hobbit all the way through to the Fall of Mordor.
Yes, you can.
And the game's permadeath too.
Yeah, permadeath.
Yeah, it's tough, and there's a way that you can try it out too. It's called, and I'm not going to put it in chat. I'll just say Dragon Cards. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of Dragon Cards, but that being said, it's a great way to test decks or whatever. There's Octogen as well, but actually get the physical game. The cards are beautiful. It is not like Magic the Gathering at all. It's the only thing they have in common is high medieval fantasy. That the artwork is beautiful, but the Lord of the Rings living card game is not a collectible card game, so you don't have to worry about, oh my god, I don't have a Black Lotus. What am I going to? Nobody has a Black Lotus unless you play it digitally. But it's amazing. I didn't know you were a fan of that game, man. I love it. Oh my god. Hey, Dwayne.
I love the card games. The reason why is, first of all, I like Solitaire. Solitaire is good. Don't have to worry about playing, since I really have nobody over here down where I live to play.
Same where I am up here. When I buy games, I make sure they're Solitaire. I just bought Euthia Torment of Resurrection. And it's like, can I play this Solitaire? Yes, I'm buying it. And Lord of the Rings, living card game is brilliant solitaire, because the game, how battle it's out to kill you. It's brutal. It's brutal.
But the thing about as Lord of the Rings is out to kill you, Arkham Horror, that game depresses you.
Absolutely.
The thing about Arkham Horror is, after I'm usually, you see, Arkham Horror, of course, is based on H.P. Lovecraft,
right?
And every time I finished a book of Lovecraft, which I read all his stuff, all of this stuff. It's a little, and of course, it's older English, so it took a little bit for me to get it. But when I understood how he wrote, okay. Then after I play a game of Arkham Horror, I feel dirty. I feel like I got to go take a shower or something. And then of course one day I finished the book, The Call of Cthulhu. I felt I need to turn myself in. So I go to the police. I went to the police station and said, "What are you here for, sir?" I said, I read The Call of Cthulhu by H.P. Lovecraft. He said, "Get your ass in jail right now. Get your ass in there. You're done. You're not coming back out again. You read Lovecraft? Why would you do that to yourself?"
Oh, man. Lovecraft, love it. So yeah, I always knew you're an Arkham Horror fan, but I didn't know you were into Lord of the Rings and all this other. Man, I love it. I just love it. It's all this
Lord
stuff.
Of the Rings is I love the Lord of the Rings. I like playing that. Marvel Champions, of course, is a lot of fun because that's actually a very simple system. I have everything for that. Everything that's been released for Marvel Champions, I have. Everything that's been released for Arkham Horror, I have. Almost everything I have for Lord of the Rings, I have, except some of they're not, according to what they said, they're not going to redo every single cycle.
No, they're not.
Packaging, but they have already redone the main saga. They've already done some of the other ones. They haven't done The Hobbit yet. I'm pretty sure that'll be next soon. They just released Return of the King, which I have. And of course, all my cards are sleeved and all that stuff. You
got to have card condoms.
Lots of dragon shields, thousands of dragon shields.
Oh yeah,
clear and matte.
Good stuff.
It's
a brilliant game. Oh my god,
it is a brilliant game. And finally, another reason why I wanted to get back into Arkham Horror is they're finally releasing Cthulhu for the card game. They're releasing the Drowned City, which is the next campaign series, which is about Ardia. And that's going to have Cthulhu finally. Everyone's saying you're doing all this Arkham Horror, so you're having, Shub-Niggurath or Azathoth, or the Elder Things and things like that, or the King in Yellow. Okay, fine. When are we gonna see the big guy? Because there's only one big guy in Arkham Horror, and that's Cthulhu.
Cthulhu, absolutely.
He is the boss. He is the man.
He is. He's the Vito Corleone of the.
He is the godfather of the elder ones. Of the elder things. Yes.
So Dwayne, I want to answer your question. So tonight we're just kind of just bouncing around some ideas. I'm going to be putting after this thing tonight here we're doing. I'm going to put an announcement in the McGreevy Discord, McGreevy only, not the other one. So anybody, if you're interested, just pop your name in there. So just to remind everybody, this is going to require maybe 2 hours of your time, if that. When people come on, they say, you IM me your team names and everything. The only thing we're going to do that night, again, you're just going to name a player between 1871 and 1929, and then you'll have a few weeks to research, to do whatever. And, Bernie and I, it's not going to take us a few weeks to do our World Series of the Mac McGraw League. But that way, then we'll just meet up again, say, okay, let's do some exhibition games. Everybody will get to see their team, and then make some tweaks to managers. The other thing, Dwayne, I'm still deciding. So far, I have only one vote, because I've been saying for a long time I was going to use Out of the Park 25, but I'm also considering possibly Digital Diamond Baseball, Pocket Pennant Run, Old Time Baseball, Baseball for Windows, and there's another one I mentioned and I can't remember. Oh, Diamond Mind. So I'm not sure, because nobody has to buy these games, but I'm trying to figure out what game most people might have, maybe if they wanted to kind of run their team through through a few seasons. And the reasons why I throw in baseball for Windows and old time baseball is people might not want to hear me announcing games. That way we can have either Ernie Harwell, Mel Allen, or Lon Simmons, and you don't have to hear me talking gobshite every night, because I'm not like Robert or Legends or Chris Slovic. I'm not like Captain Baseball voice. So I've never made any pretense to that. So keep an eye on the McGreevy Discord, guys. So I don't know. I mean, no use taking a vote tonight on what game to use because I don't even know how many people are interested. I know Ken Castro will be in. So I know we have an owner at least. So tonight I just wanted to kind of just have a little, it's a great way to have a little baseball chinwag here. And the things on there, Dwayne, if you want to come on, man, I'd love to have you on. Just to let you guys know, I'm maybe kind of thinking, so if I come on tomorrow night with Pocket Pennant Run, I'm hoping Craig isn't just dicking around like just saying like tomorrow, the game will be out Thursdays. And I just release it tomorrow, dude. We've been waiting for this forever. Because the game is so inexpensive, and I mean I don't know, I'm all about supporting indies. That's why I bought this game back in 1999 out of the Park Baseball, and look what it's become. So Action PC comes out in the middle of December. Probably not going to use Action PC only because I want to break from that game. We've used that in McGreevy, Shanks, and they're still using it in Fields of Dreams. And I love Action PC Baseball, but I want to kind of just step away from that for a community project, if indeed there will be. Now, I also understand too that the community is kind of very busy with Fields of Dreams baseball, and I know you guys are also doing football. So there may be a lot of people knowing the reticence about this. We're doing old baseball now, really old baseball again, and there may not be that interest. Plus, be like, well, geez, I'd love to do this, but I'm already in Fields of Dreams, and I'm already in whatever you call it, Gridiron Dreams, you guys are calling it, and whatever else you're doing. So I realize that's a lot, but I do want to stress this is going to be minimal time. All the time you're going to put in is kind of front loaded. Just research your players. That's it. Once they're set and you have your managers, that's it. The horses are out of the gate, and that's it. And this is going to be just fun. And no trading, nothing no injuries, nothing like that. Just field the best team you think you can out of your draft pick. We will make the draft so that we'll go, what is that called? Serpentine, right? So draft 1, then you get out to, let's say, like, we're not going to get 25 owners, but let's say we get 25 owners. So it'll be 1 to 25, and then pick 24 will start round 2, and we're just going to go back and forth. That way the guy who's picking number 25 still has a chance to get some good players rather than just doing the straight up draft. That's boring and shitty. Yeah, Snake. Thank you, Dwayne. Yeah, so we're gonna do it that way. Other than that, I mean, this is like just a night to bullshit. We've got 14 people here. Nice, thank you for coming in. I also want to give a shout out really quickly. I know a lot of you guys. I didn't. I did put the link up, but I did a presentation for Saber on this, or not on this channel, but on a Zoom link a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, there's Ken Castro. He says, I got a snake for you right here. Hey, cousin. So we've got to put that up there because that is comment worthy. There we go. I'll just leave that up there for a while. So I was very, very honored that Saber asked me to do this. It was for the Matthewson Plank chapter here in the this part of the Commonwealth of PA. And I received a nice thank you card from them. And they said that a lot of people have been reaching out and checking out that Zoom link. And the thing was about exactly what we're doing in the McGreevy League is but it was I titled it Baseball Gaming as an Adjunct to Learning Baseball History. And so for any Saber people that were there that night, or any Saber people that found out about it after the fact and been checking out the channel, thank you and welcome to this community of absolutely rabid baseball fans. And we have quite a few Saber members here already. Cousin Ken is a Saber member. Robert, Saber member. We got a lot of Saber members here. Is Dan Burke here? Oh my God, there's my favorite Irishman. He gets comment worthy as well. My favorite Irishman, Dan Burke. He is here. So that's what's going to go on. So Ken, it's finally happening. We're doing it. So I'll be putting up the announcement in the McGreevy League Discord. And again, I stress just that Discord, not the other. I want to just keep it focused. And then once we figure out how many owners we have, then we will get together again. We'll decide what game finally to use. And from there, we'll just schedule a draft night. The draft should take no more than an hour, because now everybody knows it's 1871 to 1929. So if you're thinking about doing this, you got some free time, jump into your baseball resources. The only thing I would suggest is, because the only thing that's going to be random in this is the draft order, the very first round, maybe research 4 or 5 players in case you want Christy Mathewson and the guy ahead of you gets Christy Mathewson. Then, maybe I want Pete Alexander. Well, there would be no maybe, or Ed Walsh or whatever, Eddie Plank, Mordecai Brown. Oh my God. How about it? Robert is, he's going to be jumping and doing some 1908 at some point. He's doing 1919. He's doing a one and done tournament, and I will be there tomorrow night, 7:30.
Sure, you will.
No, I will, man. Bite me. I'll be there.
Sure.
So I'm glad to. Dan says his picture is his son. Oh, there he is. All right.
Oh,
there we go. The son of my favorite Irishman.
Someone's playing a little hockey.
There we go. Absolutely. So I'm hoping.
Sign him up right now.
I'm hoping, guys, and then we'll switch it back over to old Chinwag, and we'll put on a little Diamond Mind here in the background. I don't know why I was going to start a game here. It makes noise. I do want to show you guys Mike Garland's quick starts one more time before we do that. And we'll get back to Robert too, is that I want to stress this is minimal time investment for everybody. It's going to be a full season replay, but most of the games are going to be auto played, especially the first half of the season. The opening week, we would make sure that for every human owner, at least, you'll get to see your team in action. After maybe a few exhibition games, just to fine tune things. Because I've done things like this by myself in Out of the Park 25, but to do it as a community, this will be first. And we've done it with Action PC, but again, as great as Action PC is, I want a little break from doing it. I want to try a project in another baseball thing. Besides that, the new Action PC comes out in about 2 weeks, and I don't want to start something. And what I have heard from somebody out there is that apparently there is a major update coming this year to Action PC Baseball with the chalkboard, which it's needed forever.
Maybe make it easier to set up the stadiums, maybe possibly or something. I tell you,
I don't know.
I love Dave Cook, and I get Action PC every single year for a couple of reasons. A, I still love it better for replays instead of Out of the Park. Although Out of the Park is awesome for Sandbox.
And it's awesome for career play.
It's awesome for career. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Okay, nothing beats Out of the Park when it comes to career. But setting up stadiums, setting up where to put the players and stuff is a pain in the
Action PC
brain.
Baseball? Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks.
It is a pain. All right. I understand he's used the same engine or the same information, same whatever he's using for all these years.
Yeah,
I want to say, Dave Cook, don't go the way of Stratomatic computer baseball. At least your game is still pretty much modern. They're still stuck in the DOS ages.
Yeah, They really are.
At least Dave Cook, if you can hear me, please modernize your game just a little bit more, and you'll be fine. I like it just the way it is. There's no issue with it. I use it for inside pitch to get my rosters for the current game I'm about to play. All right, and I let it simulate along with me. Can't do that with. I really can't do that with Out of the Park, and I really can't do that with any other. I really can't even do that with replay, because replay baseball doesn't have every season.
No.
So I can't do that with replays UI. Looks like Dan Burke is asking a question there.
Yeah. So Dan, the years this is going to be, we're expanding McGreevy. So the first time around it was 1893 to 1919, essentially strictly just dead ball era. This time, cousin Ken and I had sort of talked about expanding because we wanted to explore players in the 19th century, so pre-modern baseball, pre-1893. And I thought on the other end, it'd be nice to add a little bit of spice and add in the 1920s. Therefore, we are going from the first year of the National Association, so 1871 up through 1929. So, but we're going to be normalizing to the year 1900, so that way we don't have Babe Ruth, Jimmy Fox, Al Simmons, and Lou Gehrig knocking fences down all over the place, or whatever. And we want the 19th century players to be playing on a more level playing field as much as we can, so that we got guys like Old Hoss Radbourne and Charlie Buffington, all those guys. So Ken says the 1920s is too modern for him. Well, we can talk about that too. Do you guys want to keep this strictly 19th century and dead ball, or do we want to include the 1920s? Even if you're not involved, you can vote. I want to get a consensus of people here. What do you think?
If you're gonna go as high as 1929, all right, you're gonna have some. You may have some anomalies, like for instance, a 1927 Babe Ruth.
Happy Thanksgiving, JT. I'm sorry, Robert. Go ahead.
A 1927 Babe Ruth is different from a 1919 Babe Ruth or a 1918 Babe Ruth because of the ball. I'll be honest. If you want to just make this a dead ball season, I would probably just stick with dead ball and just stop at 1919 and go no further.
All right.
So if you're gonna utilize, go all the way back to 1879 or 1876, 1871 when baseball was in its infancy. Okay, and nobody knows who played back then.
I do. So does Ken. Ken and I do. Well, the only thing is because here's the thing, Robert. I didn't want to repeat McGreevy in terms of just those years. So maybe I don't know. Let's see. Okay, so guys, even if you're not if you're not going to be an owner, some of you are going to be watching this thing. So so Ken is saying 1920s is too modern for him. Robert is saying that the 1920s might skew it the other way too much. So how about some thoughts, guys? Let me know. Just pop them into chat. Again, I'll copy this in here again. If anybody wants to join, you can too. So the game engine, Ken, So I know you missed the first part of this. So the run through is this. You know that I wanted to do out of the park baseball. Okay, so there's 2 votes. So Cousin Ken agreeing with Robert. So that's 2 votes against including the 1920s. I'd like to get some more. Mike, if you're still here. Again, guys, even if your opinion is, doesn't mean, that's it, you're locked into the McGreevy League now. No, I just want to get a consensus of what people think would or would not work. I do want to hold fast though to go to including 1870s and 1880s baseball. That's in, because I want to see some Providence Grays in there and Buffalo Bisons and stuff like that. And I'll tell you what, don't until okay. So Dan Burke's saying, how about going up to 1925? Reasonable. That's reasonable because you're not getting a lot of big home run hitter. Well, you only have one by 1925 still, right? Because 1925 is Lou Gehrig's rookie year. So that could be an option.
He was sending them out. So
maybe that. When was it Wally? Was it Wally Pipp? Yeah, Wally Pipp. Oh, I have a headache. And that was it, Lou Gehrig. So there's an option. JT, who is a walk-in encyclopedia of baseball, I'd really appreciate your opinion. Okay, so we have 2 votes against the 20s, 1 going up to the mid-20s. That's good. While you guys are cogitating about that, and masticating. Notice I said masticating, and I wanted to stress that not the other M word. Yeah, is so okay. Well, I try, Robert, but I fail miserably. So, but look, somebody's got to do it. Hey, bada boom, bada bing. So Ken, quickly about the engine is again because I think Pocket Pennant Run is super accessible, and I don't have any connection to Craig or Matt or anything, but it's a $15 game that gives you everything. hopefully tomorrow night, Craig will be releasing this update. He's telling everybody, check Facebook tomorrow for an announcement. And he had like one of those little shit-eating grin emojis up there. So there's that. There's Digital Diamond Baseball, which gives you everything. If we do Digital Diamond, I'm going to need Dwayne to maybe do us a little tutorial. Maybe he and I can be on here. Maybe he can at least help us set it up if he's not. I don't know if he's going to be part of it. I don't know who's going to be part of it at this juncture. JT says just here for the Chinwag, talk baseball. Yeah, we can do that. I want to talk a little bit about Nosferatu later on. But anyhow, that the movie coming out on Christmas, as it should be. I'm excited about it. Robert Eggers, what a director. Anyhow, back to baseball quickly, or baseball simming. So Pocket Pennant Run is becoming a hell of a game. So there is that. I'm just trying to decide, except for Action PC Baseball, because it's coming out in 2 weeks, the new one, which one would be best. This is on sale right now, $25. Best deal in baseball I think you can get from a larger developer, even though they're still small. I also thought about Baseball for Windows, Roll-Time Baseball Set. We don't have to listen to me, which I think is a blessing in itself, by the way. And yeah,
I have no problem listening to you. The only problem with Out of the Park with Baseball for Windows,
yeah,
as much as I love Ernie Hardwell, and I do, sometimes it takes too long for the game to play.
It can, but it's Ernie Harwell, and again, I'm not like you, Legends or Slovak. You know, I'm just like this dude, man. Yeah, Mike, this is by far the best version of Out of the Park 25, and it's going to keep getting better. And I'm betting by Out of the Park.
He just released the final patch for that. For Out of the Park 25, the final patch has been released.
Good. Well, by Out of the Park 30, we're going to have an announcer in this thing, and not like a narrator. It's going to be like an Ernie Harwell type thing. I'm betting my money within 5 years, Marcus and Matt and the guys are going to do it. They're going to do it. So let's switch a little bit now. I do want to show you guys one more time, because we got 13 people hanging out here for a bit. I want to show you, I don't want new historical game. I'm going to need you. There we go. New historical game. So Mike Garland, who deserves tons and tons and tons of credits. He has a new quick start. And if you got this game on Steam, it's easy. Just subscribe to it. Go into Out of the Park Baseball and install it. I don't know whether it's available. Oh, he's retiring from Out of the Park Baseball. I have not heard that. Yikes. I don't know what to think about that, Mike. That's I mean, I know Matt Arnold and those guys are good. I hope things, I mean, we'll see. Because I mean, you got this guy in Germany that created this fantastic baseball sim. So hopefully all will be in good hands. Wow. Oh, so he announced it yesterday. That's why I missed it. I'm just not around. Well, Marcus, you don't know my channel from anything, but for me, who's somebody, I've played this game since first edition back in 1999. Thank you for just this amazing baseball sandbox. It's incredible. I love it. Thank you. You will be missed. So, guys, this is from Mike Garland, the guy who is Mike in the chat. Okay, so not Mike Silva, who stops by, a great ballpark guy. This is our roster guy now. So you can see up here in the quick start, you basically just subscribe. The quick starts are there. You go to new quick start game. So you want to play some focused baseball. This is it, man. So going back to 1901. So right there, 1901 to 1919. We got 1920 to 29, 30 to 49, 50 to 69. And Mike, a couple people had mentioned they would have liked to have seen the 1950s as its own decade. So I don't know, something to think about maybe. But anyhow, so you have those years, and then 70 to 79, 80 to 89, 90 to 99, 2000 to 2009, and 2010 to 2019. He also has another great mod, which I just didn't install it here yet on this version. It's the integrated mod with the GREAT, and that's awesome sauce too. So Big thanks to Mike Garland. The other night, did some setting up of the 1970s. So Mike says, yep, 1950s, it definitely was the decade of New York. No doubt about it. Giants, Dodgers, and that other team there in the Bronx. No, the Yankees. So, but yeah, anyhow, guys, you're still getting some really focused stuff. So some of you, I know in the past, and Mike hadn't been coming around to this channel or anything like that, had mentioned, hey, I'd like to I just want to create a league of, 1970 to 79, let's say, or I'm really into 80s baseball. I don't really care about all that other stuff. How can I do it? Well, you could always do it, but Mike's done it for you. And Mike's also done some things with the database and with Out of the Park Baseball, making it do things that it's not supposed to be able to do to make this an even better roster set. So, yeah. So, right, JT, you're absolutely right. Ken Burns' seventh inning, the Capital Baseball, covers that period. And it was a great period, especially if you're a New York fan. But let's face it, you had three of the greatest center fielders of all time in that decade, right? Mickey Mantle, Willie Mays, Duke Snider. I mean, yeah, New York was definitely the capital of baseball. Good stuff. But guys, do check out these quick starts. They're absolutely amazing. And then, of course, you have to remember to get Mike Silva's ballpark mod and uniforms mod, and you got everything. And it's great. We had a little talk, and Mike and I were exchanging, a few messages about, because I'd mentioned on that broadcast about I said, because Mike hadn't been on here yet, right? And I said, yeah, you picked the 1979 Pirates. I would have gone with the 1971 Pirates. And Mike told me, he said that was a really hard decision to make for him. But he's working with, I forget who now the name because it's late. But the person working with him with the mod was kind of more partial to the $79. Either way, you're getting a world championship Pirate team, but some really, really good teams. This is kind of equivalent to Action PC's best of franchise decades that go back to the 1900s and up to. Dave never did the 2010s. Don't know why. Maybe I'll do them and say, here, Dave, I saved you some time. Here, and I'll just load them because I have all the seasons. So why not? But these are great, guys. These really, really are. Now there are doppelgangers, obviously, but that's okay. It's fun. And so let's go back to the main menu, and I'm not going to play a game, but I'll at least show you the 1970s. Yeah, you can see I'm a busy Out of the Park guy. What can I say? I'm kind of like Robert with Inside Pitch, man. What can I say?
I just read Marcus's note for him saying goodbye.
Lincoln Street.
It's on. You'll find it under general discussions on Out of the Park. It's there.
I'll check it out.
He just stated that the 29th is when he did it. I just posted my thank you to him. So
I got to do that.
Definitely everybody's right now understanding that. I guess someone else is going to take it over because I'm sure we'll see an Out of the Park 26. But
yeah,
definitely I just read it. So when you get a chance, you might want to read it.
Definitely. When the game is for the first time. Lansdowne Street, by the way, is the person who worked with Mike on this great series of quick starts. So the name wasn't, and this guy's a big contributor, as is P. Stricker, and again, Mike Silva and so many others. Out of the Park is such a great community. And the things that these guys have given us in this fantastic baseball game. But this is awesome, guys. This is real. And again, I just set up the 1970s. This is probably not going to be the one I'm really going to be playing a lot with. You know me, I'm going to go back to Dead Ball. Yes, sirree, Bob. But there's going to be some doppelgangers, but I don't think it's going to be a big deal. Anyhow, so you have the franchise best. So again, you may or may not, about the choices. The nice thing about Out of the Park is you can, if you're making your own. But again, I would say give this a try. I'm loving it. I've been doing a lot of just kind of exhibition games. You can see the season hasn't started yet. I've just been playing exhibition games. It's been fun. There's Robert's 73 Mets. I don't know if we have any Cubbies fans in here, but there's the 1970. There's the Cubbies, Cardinals, and of course we could go look at the junior circuit if we wanted to. Don't know why we would want to, but they're all in here. I'm just kidding. I like the American League too. 77 Phillies. There you go, Ken. Look at these 1977 Phillies. And I'm hoping at some point we can get Mike on here to maybe get into a little, even if it's just for, a half hour or so, to get into a little bit more of the nitty gritty about how this was set up, because it's really fascinating what he's done there. This wasn't just, so he wasn't just dragging and dropping players, pulling them in from the database the way you and I would do it. There's a lot of work that went into this mod. I dare say probably the same kind of work that went into Steve Tate's franchise mods for Action PC Baseball. So, Mike, again, while you're here, thank you. And a thank you to Lansdowne. Straight off the cap to both you guys. So good stuff, guys. Check it out. Check it out. This is a great way. Somebody's done the work for you. You love 80s baseball. You can just play 80s baseball if you want it. And again, you still got career play and development and all that stuff if you want to do it. If you really feel like you want to go down that rabbit hole, it's all here and ready to rock. The only thing is I know Mike has some ways around it, but as it stands right now, if you do get this, just beware that when you load the quick start, it's not going to have the real logos or colors or anything like that. You'll have to do that. But that's kind of a fun Zen thing. We did it on the last Chinwag while we had Robert on here. We were talking. Robert was talking about some stuff, and I was just popping in logos. And Robert, of course, taught me about the great filter thing, which, to my eternal shame, I've been playing this game since the very beginning and never noticed the filter button. So thank you, Robert, for that one, because the way I was doing it was terrible. Oh my God. So, but yeah, you guys are going to see some doppelgangers, but don't let that stop you. This is really, really good stuff. Yeah. So have we had enough talking about baseball? We can talk about other stuff or whatever, or we can always go from baseball to back and forth. Am I the only person that's going to go see Nosferatu? Am I the only vampire person in here? Is that it? And as everybody thinks about that, when JT says, I would really enjoy seeing someone play through a game like this, like going through drafts, making trades, instead of just throwing on an individual game. So you're talking about a complete season of this type of league, JT? Is that what you mean? Just kind of curious.
When I picked up Out of the Park, I like going ahead and starting, playing the Mets. But I like going back to the year 1961 and let them complete the season and then do the draft. So do an expansion draft with the Mets and starting 1962. And I've done that to see if I can win a World Series faster than the 1969 Mets or something. I won a World Series in 1967. So
Who'd you beat? Who'd you play?
I played the Minnesota Twins. I beat the Twins in 1967.
Twins were tough in the 60s, man.
I beat the Twins in 1967. And I did as a matter of fact, it might still be on the forums. I posted everything on the forums. It might still be there, but I don't know.
When did you do this? How long ago?
Years ago. What years ago with Out of the Park? I think Out of the Park 16 or 17.
Oh man, okay.
I haven't done one in a while because I've been mostly doing cards and dice now instead of the PC.
Okay.
It's funny as we look at all these great baseball PC games we have. Out of the Park, Action, Diamond Mine,
all of them, right?
All the PC games. MLB The Show. And it really is funny that I remember the first. I remember when Atari released baseball, its first baseball game, which was friggin' ridiculous. If you ever see the original Atari baseball for the Atari 2600, You know, it wasn't really baseball. It was funny, but it was weird. And then you know, and then as we move forward, you know, with like when Mattel released its in television, and they had a baseball where it actually had a field on there and stuff. It actually looked like baseball for once. Back in the late 70s. And then I remember the first. Then of course the first computer I ever received. I mean, I had some video game systems. I had, you know, old Pong games like that. You know, Pong. With awesome graphics. You know, a dotted line on the top, a dotted line on the bottom, a dotted line down the middle, 2 white sticks and a square ball. Okay, you know, that was graphics. Those are real graphics back in the day. Okay?
Oh yeah.
So I remember the first computer my dad got me for my bar mitzvah, and it was like 1982, and it was a Radio Shack TRS-80 Model 1.
Oh wow.
Now, you want to talk about an antique, okay? A computer, I think the speed of that computer was like 1.4 hertz.
Right. Yeah, right.
1.4 hertz.
But that was the shit then, man. That was the shit.
Not gigahertz.
Right. Not megahertz, right? It was hertz. Yeah.
Just one single hertz. Okay. And it had 4K RAM.
Wow.
Just 4K RAM. That was it. 4K. Not mega RAM, not giga RAM, not tera RAM, but just 4K.
Yeah, that wasn't even as big as a Commodore 64 yet.
Bytes.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Okay? The starting apps on our phones are bigger than that.
Yeah.
All right. So I remember that there was a game, a baseball game, that was, it was not, I remember writing everything in BASIC. Remember that language?
Yes.
BASIC. And we went and it was a baseball game that was in a magazine. It was an old computer magazine when they used to actually give you basic programs.
And you typed them in. You typed them in.
Type it in.
Yeah.
And I typed in this baseball game, and it actually was a lot of fun. You could actually type in the team names. Of course, you got no players, you know, nothing, no players or anything like that. You know, here's the first baseman, here's the next, here's the third, here's the shortstop. Okay, fine. You know, but if you press the space bar and sometimes you got a hit, you know, and it even played the national anthem, and you know, and of course it sounded, you know, wacky, but
oh sure.
But I remember that first computer I got, and it was a baseball game on my black and white screen, and that was it. Now, look at what you're playing with right now.
This is the game I always dreamed of and never thought would be possible.
This is the game. Yes, this is the game that everybody was hoping they'd get. And then in 1990, what was it, 98, 99?
99.
Marcus creates this. And we already had, you know, the games, of course, were already getting better. You know, Earl Weaver baseball.
Oh, my God.
Sega had World Series baseball, which I loved the hell out of.
When I was in college, we did an Earl Weaver tournament. We actually took our PCs to each other's, like whoever was the home team. We literally would grab our PCs and take it out. It was so much fun. Oh man, does that bring back memories? And we built our own ballparks. My team was the New York Knights. Oh yeah.
And then you had Tony La Russa baseball. But one of my
love it, Mike. I've done Tony La Russa on this channel. I might show it again some night. Yes.
Tony La Russa baseball.
Love it.
But one of my all-time favorites was just Hardball.
Oh hell yeah!
It wasn't the best when it was released for the Commodore 64.
That was the king, buddy.
Hardball.
Tommy Euler, you could throw that curve and strike. You could strike everybody out with that curveball, Tommy Euler, if you held the joystick just right.
Let me tell you something. let me tell you something. Tommy Euler. Let's put it this way: Babe Ruth wouldn't get a hit off of him.
Hell no.
Get off of him. Even Tom with that curveball, even Sandy Koufax would go, whoa.
Exactly. Exactly.
Wow, okay, even I can't throw a 12-6 like that.
Oh, yeah.
Tommy Euler, the greatest pitcher in video game history.
Yep.
He was unhittable.
Love Tommy Euler, man. You get people chasing on that stuff. Because it was the champs versus the All-Stars.
Champs versus the All-Stars.
Yes. Oh my God. That was put out by Accolade. And I thought, dude, this is the greatest baseball game of all time.
At that time, it was the greatest baseball game you could play.
Oh,
it
yeah.
was fun. It was realistic. You got some pretty good games out of it.
Oh, yeah. Okay? The fielding was nice, right? Oh, my God. My best friend and I, man, Robert, we would start, and he wasn't a baseball fan until the game Hardball, right? We would start at like 10 in the evening, right? Because our girlfriends, they'd be off doing whatever. We would start at 10 in the evening, dude. 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, playing the living shit out of Hardball. It was great. But he never knew the Tommy Euler thing. So I always made sure, so I'd use a little sleight of hand. Yeah, let's flip a coin. Oh, geez, I got the champs again, Chris. Bam. But he started feeling, well, how come you always start Tommy Euler? Well, I don't know. I like his name, Chris. I like his name. Yeah, that's it.
Oh, come on. That was the best. There was some other big main names that I'm trying to remember. I'm actually, believe it or not,
there's some guy named Ratton, W-R-A-T-T-E-N. I should bring it up here. I have the game. I should bring up the Commodore 64 version. I just don't have the emulator drive plugged in. I think people would love seeing a game of Hardball some night.
I'm trying. I mean, I see Hardball, but I'm looking for. Let me see here. Hold on. There's got to be.
Did you mean like the rosters?
Oh, shoot.
I know. Another game while you're looking, guys, how many of you played Micro League Baseball?
I love Micro League.
Micro League is what got me into digital baseball gaming. That was the game. In fact, that best friend of mine wrote me an external program for keeping standings and all kinds of stuff. This was before the managers just came out. Man, I loved that game, right? And to see and the play-by-play was pretty decent. And might have to show that on here some night too. I know Mike Silva showed it one night in our Discord, or in their Discord, I should say. But I might do a night where we'll do Micro League and Hardball and some of those neat old baseball games. SSI's computer baseball.
What somebody needs to do is create the hardball rosters for a game. For like, hardball. Create the hardball roster for like Out of the Park or Action. Just create the players. They're not that many. There were only 2 teams, the champions and the All-Stars.
That's it.
And they all had 25-man. They both had 25-man rosters. And these were based. And this was baseball. Very, very early. It was like 1983, 84.
So I guess something like that. Yeah.
1985. 1985, the Commodore 64 is when this came out. Oh, geez. For Accolade, for the original, and he could pitch high, inside, low, outside, but friggin' Euler was the best pitch. I don't care what anybody says. He's the greatest pitcher in video game history.
Damn right. I'll bring this over so everybody can check this out. I don't know if we can we get this larger? Yeah, there we go. So this is a review of Hardball, and I'm hoping this damn image isn't coming up. Oh yeah, there we go. So here we go. Look, this guy didn't even start Tommy Euler. Look at that. See that?
I did not start Tommy Euler.
But there they are, man. There's Alan, Jose Miller, Lorenzo, Bautista. There's Ratton. I remember him.
Ratton, Bautista. He always came through in the clutch when you needed him.
Yep.
And let's see, who else is there? Darian. I'll tell you, Darian. He was at the bottom of the order, but he always seems to do it when he needed to.
Yeah.
And Cook and Williams as the. Look at those ERAs.
I know, 6, right? 6 and 6.
And Williams just said, "How are you not starting Euler?"
That's incredible. There's what the game. And so think about this, guys. I mean, for the time, these were incredible graphics. There was not incredible graphics. No baseball game looked like this.
No,
it was like, holy shit.
It was one of the first baseball games to actually really
look like that from the old picture, from the picture view.
Yep.
Alan, oh geez, boy, does that bring back memories.
Same here, my brother. Same here.
Oh my God, that it's you can even double switch. You can, it was just an amazing. It was just so much fun. I played the hell out of it, and I always tried to win as either team, but every time I always had the champs. I always played Euler, and he was just.
I know.
This is one of the greatest baseball games of all time, and it really is. It was innovative it really was innovative. Okay, and then they went to Hardball 2 and 3. They weren't as good. Believe it or not. I played Hardball 2. I didn't like it as much as the first. Then they went to Hardball 3, and
this one had a magic about it.
Yes, it did. It did. They kind of lost their way when they kind of lost their way. There was a Hardball 94 that I did like. I did like Hardball 94. I think the latest they went was Hardball 6, back for the old PlayStation and such. It didn't get great reviews because at that time in 98 and 99, Electronic Arts was now going ahead and putting out its Triple Play series.
Right.
And, MLB Game Day for the PlayStation. And they started getting, and of course it was already, and already, the thing about Tony La Russa and Earl Weaver, you could play whole seasons,
yes,
and such. And now you could do the same with, Triple Play and such. The one thing is that at one point you could only take one team throughout the entire season until later. I think Triple Play 98 is when Electronic Arts said, okay, you can now play any game you want during the season. You can control a team and you can play any game you want. It took them a while to do that for Madden as well. Madden, you can only take one team through a season. You couldn't play every game that you wanted. And now, but now they went ahead and, changed that in Madden. Now you can play any game you want, and of course in today's stuff. And then, it really was, when they got the player, for the licensing for the players. And then of course, World Series Baseball was one of the first consoles to get licensing. Well, that's not true. The Nintendo Entertainment System at one point had Major League Baseball.
Yes.
They did release for the old Nintendo Major League Baseball, and it was garbage.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
Oh yeah, there were some bad. I remember Epic's Championship Baseball.
Yep.
Because I played hardball so much, and then so the field was right upended, so the third base was at the top of the screen, first base was the bottom, and I was so used to the fielding because the fielding was brilliant in hardball, right? But of course, you remember the trick, right? So if you had a guy and you would have tried to gun him down, you didn't throw to the second baseman, you threw to the catcher. Remember that? The ball got quicker to the catcher, and you could still have a chance. Because if you tried to throw a guy out at second, that wasn't going to happen. But the controls were really good. But in the Epics game, I kept, I'd want to make a throw to first. And so, of course, you press the button and move the joystick to the right. But in Epics, you'd have to hold it, and I could never adjust. And it was like, this sucks.
Yep.
By the way, for nostalgia purposes, gents, here is the splash screen for Allen Park Baseball. And it is available. You can DOSBox it.
Yeah, you can still use it.
It's there. But here it is, man. Going back to I remember getting this in the mail, and I'm like, yes. And oh my God, I got home from I was working at Penn State at that time. It was not long after I graduated college, and man, I couldn't wait to get home. Fired up my PC, and that was it. And the thing that broke it all open was the Sean Lahman database, man. That I really think that single-handedly made digital baseball simming really a thing. I mean, you had Earl Weaver before, and you had stuff like that, but the Sean Lahman database, that was it. You could just do it all. And
remember also back in the day, you had Tecmo Baseball.
Tecmo Baseball, yeah.
That actually wasn't too bad. That was actually fun. That was actually fun for the old Nintendo Entertainment System Tecmo baseball. You know, you only got like a few teams, but I won the championship one time with them. You just had to, you know, and it was based on the 1980. It was based in it was a 1989. Really, it was a 1989 release that had 1987 type players. You didn't get all the teams though, but you got, you know, the big guys. You know, the Cardinals, Giants, Mets, Yankees. You know, Red Sox, that kind of thing. It really is amazing how there have been so much stuff, you know, for baseball. And then when the Super Nintendo came out, you had Ken Griffey Ken Griffey.
Oh yeah.
Ken Griffey games are awesome.
Yeah.
They were awesome. The Ken Griffey baseball games are awesome. You know, I love those too. And then of course, then it's all she wrote. Then you get to our stuff. And right now there really is only one baseball game you can play on the console. So that's MLB The Show. And it's awesome. There's nothing wrong with it. It is terrific. Okay. But as I said, remember I told you what I think. It's a game. All right. It's not a simulation. It's a game. All right. Where we play action or Out of the Park or Diamond Mind or, you know, Diamond, and it's also Digital Diamond, right? Digital Diamond, you know, as well. You know, those are simulations. Okay, those are simulations. Those are designed based purely on statistics. Where when you play the show, if you swing the bat right from your joystick, you're probably going to you may just hit a home run, even if the guy never hit one before. So.
Mike here says, he says the first Griffey game I played through with the Tigers with a friend, and we wrote down a notebook, the box scores for every game. Oh my God. So we did the same thing. Yeah. Not with the Griffey game, but we did that with our Earl Weaver League.
Baseball was another one. Yes. Pure Stat I also like.
So Micro League.
The first ones where you actually ordered season discs.
Pure Stat was a pretty good. Well, I mean, it's available, guys, by the way, in the Discord, or no, Pure Stat Baseball. That was from Sublogic. Pure Stat Baseball. Yeah, and you bought seasons for that. Yes. I was going to do something here in a little bit just for Mike. I was going to we're going to show a little Tony La Russa here in a few minutes. Tony La Russa 3. So Tigers had the power hitters. Oh my God, but again now, so that does bring up a question here, Robert. Is we almost like we do have this kind of embarrassment of riches now, where it's like it's wonderful that we have all these choices, whether it's this or action or whatever, or even in the cards and dice realm, same thing, right? You know, because for the longest time, I mean, the two big, you know, the Godzilla and Gamera were Appa and Strat, right? And you had like some other ones like Status Pro, but those were the games. But now, my God, you know, Fall Classic and Inside Pitch and Payoff Pitch and is it really too much to choose from now? What do you think? I mean, I know for me it's hard to, like, when Earl Weaver Baseball, when I got on that, it was like, look, that was, and I played that in the Commodore Amiga. That was the best version on the Amiga. And so that was like, this is the game I'm going to play. But now it's like, okay, geez, I could play this, or I could play, you know, any one of 25 other baseball games. Do you think there's too much out there now, or what? What would be your opinion on that?
I think there is. I don't want to say there's too much. The reason why is because if I say I don't think I could say there's too much. I mean, there's a lot, but too much, I don't think so. There's I'm constantly. I mean, the big players, of course, in cards and dice baseball is Appa and Stratomatic. Those are two of the oldest cards and dice baseball creators of all, in the history of doing it. Sure. Appa, I think, started, if I'm correct, I think Appa was first, and then Stratomatic came later. At least I'm
Appa is 10 years older than Strat. Exactly Appa 10 years older
than Strat. And Appa still uses its same system, although they have upgraded, they have upgraded some of their systems and such to get their cards, up to date. They have upgraded, so is Stratomatic. Stratomatic
Okay, had had a basic and then an advanced and a super advanced, but but then again now they're starting to, the last few years they started remastering their older seasons now. Okay, so to the newer super advanced system that they have. Okay, because baseball is changing, and the funny thing, and people say, are they really remastering? I said yes. You can actually check a card from 1986. Let's say you choose like 1986 Darryl Strawberry from an original card, from that they had for the Mets. Okay, and of course those weren't perforated; those were, card stock, cut card stock. Okay, and now you look at Darryl, and look at Darryl Strawberry's card for the 1986 remastered set that was only released a couple of years ago, which I have. Okay, they're totally different.
Right.
They're totally different. There are so many games out there, and some new ones I'm seeing. I'm seeing games like Precision Baseball as a new one I saw. I saw another. Fort Street Baseball has been out for a little bit, but even Clay Dreslok's season ticket baseball is really not that old.
I want him to make that digitally. I want him to just retire Baseball Mogul and do a digital conversion.
I don't know why he doesn't do that, and I don't know why he doesn't do that. Baseball Mogul is good. I'm not going to knock it, but still, I don't know why he should just make a season ticket baseball PC. But I agree with you. But but even that is not that old. Okay,
no, it's not. It's
years old. Inside Pitch. Chris has been doing that since, I think, for 15 years. Joe Bryan at Payoff Pitch. I think the same amount of time. All right. Fall Classic. I think Greg Sovon, may he rest in peace. He started that. That's not that old a game either. And there's always, it's like, and then of course your Pocket Pennant Run. That's only been out that's not been out for long.
Couple years, if that.
And I'm not, and of course Ian Brooks, on base baseball.
Yeah. Okay. And then you have all the ones too, like, let's not forget, even though it's not confined to dead ball, he calls it dead ball baseball from W.H. Ackers. There's time travel baseball. Oh my God, there's just a ton. And so again, my thing is like, how do I even stay focused?
Right. And you don't want, of course, even the Sports Illustrated Games baseball strategy, and of course Status Pro baseball. Okay, which I still think is one of the better ones out there.
Status Pro, love the shit out of that game.
It was a lot of fun.
Love it.
It's a very easy game to play.
Yeah.
All right, everything is all laid out for you, the charts and everything. Okay, it's there, but yeah, and you look on, and I sometimes looking to see, is anybody creating anything new? And I see, yeah, everyone's crying. The thing about is it me, or is when you make a new baseball game, are you trying to reinvent the wheel? I mean,
that's a good question.
You're trying to reinvent the wheel. I mean, there's also deep drive baseball that Tony Porter likes. There's triple play baseball.
And there was a really promising one that never came out, but it looked great. I was dying for it, and then I guess it died. Was Dugout Steps baseball?
Dugout Steps, I think, became something else.
That must be because it just all of a sudden was like, because it had everything I wanted in a cards and dice game, and it was.
I think Dugout Steps became. I think it turned into something else. I'm not sure which it was, but yes, I saw that. But like I said, there's triple play. There's the triple play baseball that ID Jester plays once in a while. It's like everybody is trying to create a game. They say, "Well, I want to create the most accurate." If you're making a simulation, then yes, you're trying to create accuracy. If you're putting out trying to play baseball like a game. Such as that one game that came out called Clutch Baseball, which I don't know if you ever heard of it.
I haven't, no.
Okay, but it uses a big game board, and it has all the teams. But if you ever look it up, type it in, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's called Clutch Baseball.
I'll look it up right now. We'll all have a look at it.
I think it's still available. I'm not sure. Clutch.
It says, I guess it's card game, is it? It's
Clutch. I think it's Clutch card games.
Looks like they're still here, man.
They're still here. They're still there. Yeah. Clutch card games.
All right, so
And
let's look at baseball because to me the other sports don't matter. You guys can look on your own at the other sports.
That's clutch card. It's clutch card games. And I actually
So
looked at this. It actually looked like it would be interesting, but it's not a simulation. Although you might think it is, it's not a simulation. But it does have the teams.
wow.
It has, it's supposed to have all the teams from the I was supposed to have all the teams available. Rosters, old time rosters too. I think this is a game. This is not, I think, a simulation, but it's not a simulation because there's things you can play like, like not like automatic home run, but a good chance of getting a home run. That kind of thing. Looks like they're doing looks like they're gonna do a basketball too. But this is clutch card games. They're actually it uses the actual as actual players, but or at least their names, not likenesses or anything like that. But they are on the teams they're supposed to be. I heard this was actually a fun kind of a baseball thing you could do. So but that's a game. That's not what I call a baseball simulation. So if you're, if you're playing, if you're playing like, if you want a simulation, then yeah, you're playing Stratomatic or you're playing APA, you're playing Inside Pitch or Fall Classic or anything. Okay, and if you want to play a baseball game, all right, yeah, clutch baseball, something like that,
Here's one Ken mentioned.
Nagamco. I heard about this.
Look at the spinner thing. So
spinners. All-star baseball. You always put the player in the spinner and you got that. They just. You're asking me if they're. I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe there is too many choices.
There's so many. Mike's saying here regarding Out of Park 25, something that has probably not gotten due attention is the fielding. We completely rebuilt the fielding ratings for all players. That's something I noticed this year, Mike, or for 25. I was a beta tester, and I'm like, something different going on here, something better. It is. Granted, now, again, we talked about that, again, matching the on-field action to what's going on. But I'm like, I think this is, as far as fielding goes, I always thought fielding was the fielding ratings were kind of the Achilles heel of Out of the Park 25. I don't think that anymore. So I'm glad you brought that up, Mike. Ken, you said this was the first play in 1966. So the deal with this spinner here, I don't know. Did you play this one, Robert? I don't know if you did, but Ken. So I'm looking at a spinner, but so how's this going to work with let's see if I'm going to try to get a close up of this thing. So, okay, so it sort of just acts like a dice roller, and then each player's card, this would be his, right? So whatever came up here would be the result here for the player, right? Am I right? There's one of these for sale on eBay. I wonder how much it costs. We should look. Spinner was 1 to 100, says Ken. Let's take that off of there. This looks really cool. I'll bet you it costs a fortune on eBay, though. Yikes. JT saying there's no way to give all games that are out the attention they deserve. Everyone has sort of to knock things down to small. They do. I'm having trouble doing that with, digital baseball. There's a few I don't like. Strat baseball, no. Sorry, that's not happening. I have Baseball Mobile, but I really don't play it. Really, I have like 4 go-tos when it comes to digital baseball. Out of the Park being number 1, but then also Action PC Baseball for Windows and Diamond Mind. Digital Diamond is a great game. I just haven't played it enough this year to really let it catch my fancy. But next year it will, because they're doing even more integration of Status Pro into the game. So I'm really excited about that. Boy, you know what? I would buy this, Robert, just because it looks like baseball, doesn't it? It's like You know what I'm saying? It's like this is like dripping with nostalgia, and I've never played the game, never heard of it until cousin Kenneth's talked about it a few times before. Never heard about this game, but I would buy this and I would put it on a bookshelf. I don't know if I'd play it. I'd like look at the charts. Oh, this is baseball, and then put it away, and then get it out against something. I don't know if I'd ever play this, but it look no. Yes, I would. If I could afford it, I should see how much it costs on eBay. Maybe I could do this on my Super Bowl baseball night. There we go. Let's see. Oh my God, it's on eBay. It doesn't look bad. Well, let's see. Let's look at Fleabay here for a second, gents. Okay, well, I don't care about the basketball game. No bloody basketball. All right, let's try this. In the Gamco baseball, is that what we're going to do? That? Yeah, I'm just curious. The Gamco baseball. All right, let's see what we got here. What do we got here? What's that bet? $50. What's this? 1957 pennant race. I don't know if that's Nagamco though. No, that's not Nagamco. Come on, where is it? It didn't come in a little thing like this. What the hell is that? Does anybody know? What is this? This isn't the game we just looked at. Yeah, it says Nagamco. Help. Anybody? Yeah. Wait, I'm not going to buy it now. What is this thing? I don't know. Anyhow, what are some other? I don't know where this shit came from. I was looking for a friend of mine who never bought it. Like, what do I wouldn't know what to do with a wheel sander anyhow. Anyhow, I don't know. I don't know. I think I would buy it, and I think it'd be really fun to play. Maybe not this version, but the one that was in that picture. Looks like a can of Pringles. I know this can't because it's just pennant race baseball. Let's just say Nagamco games and see what it says because I'm curious. There's so many games, and JT, you're right. I mean to kind of narrow it down.
Yeah, there's so many games.
Oh my God!
Like I said, everyone's just thinking. A lot of people think maybe they can create the most accurate game ever. Remember, the one thing about it is that, as we all said, you're always going to be a few. There's always going to be some outliers. There's always going to be.
Hey, D. Scott.
The Goat Whisperer is here.
He's here.
But there's always going to be some outliers and such. But still, if you want everything, if you want to be accurate, okay, great. But if you want perfect accuracy, then why are you going to play the game then? Because if you want perfect accuracy, that means if you want it to be as accurate as possible, you want the games to go the way they actually did. So if I play an inside pitch game, okay, in 1983, let's say I play a game between the Mets and the Pirates or something, and historically the Mets won the game 6-4, but I played the game and the Pirates win the game 8-1 or something like that. I think it. I mean, I know you're trying to get accuracy, but still, I still say the most important thing about a baseball game is fun, and I just think that's the thing. I mean, is it fun to play? Is it fun to set up? Is it even fun to put away? All right, that's the one thing about Stratomatic that I have a little issue with. It's not always fun to set up. It takes a while for me to set up Stratomatic. I could set up inside pitch in less than 5 minutes. Okay, I can have inside pitch ready to go on the board, everything all written down, ready to go in 5 minutes and play. Fall Classic is taking me a little longer, but that's because there's a few more ratings to put in on my score sheet. Okay, and of course because of the cards. But it takes a little longer, but still. But there are some games that just take too long to set up. I mean, Strat took a while to set up. I actually think APA takes a while to set up because you got to have the chart book right next to you, unless, of course, you have it memorized or maybe you made small charts in front of you or something like that. There are just some games that just took way too long to set up. And, so I think if it's not fun to set up or play, I just think I think the game loses its luster. You know, it's got. After all, we're trying to have fun here, right?
We are.
That's the reason why I like Inside Pitch so much. Inside Pitch gives me the fun that I was missing on some of the other games. All right,
right.
You know, I just, you know, it just gives me the fun. The thing about Inside Pitch, it's so easy for me to play. All right, it only uses 1 or 2 charts. Okay, and that's it. People say they have issues with the base running. I created a helper for that. There shouldn't be an issue. Okay.
Right. I've seen that.
And there's new rules. He's working on version 4 to make it even easier. Okay. But you know, and he has a lot of seasons. Yeah, nothing from born 1956, but he wants to get those. Maybe in the future he does. All right. But the thing about it was everything's on the card, and I just found everything is fun. All right, it's a lot of fun to play, and I've gotten some awesome baseball games out of it. And then there's some about Payoff Pitch. I thought was a lot of fun when I started playing that. That was the first game I played before Inside Pitch. I thought Payoff Pitch was a blast. I thought it was an absolute blast. And then I started playing the 1985 season, and then I said, suddenly I'm missing something. And it was the predictability of the rolls. Because when you play Payoff Pitch, you know a high roll on the D10s is going to be an out. All right.
Right.
It's going to be an out. When you play Inside Pitch, you actually have to look at the card. All right. So, you know, and it's all different the way he has it set up. And
so here's the bad boy that you and Ken have been telling me to play forever and ever.
You need to get a copy of the 1908 season and order a copy of the rules.
Holy shit, these are expensive though. Oh my god.
That's not expensive. $44.
$50, dude. Come on.
Inside Pitch is more.
What's that?
Inside Pitch is actually a bit more.
Yeah.
It's $44 for the 1908 season. Order 1 set of fast.
Yeah, but how much is the game? Oh my god.
Right,
it's not that I'm
bucks,
cheap. It's just Magic is expensive, so I have to kind of, you know.
$15. Go down. Go down. Scroll down.
I'm scrolling down there, Robert.
Go back up.
Oh, Jesus, Mary and Joseph, no. What is
that? There you go. Rule book and charts, $15.
$15.
And the thing
right? That's
about
not bad.
The thing about it is, if you order the rule book and charts and the 1908 season, you're actually going to get a PDF at the same time.
Right.
So you're going to get everything to look at before you even get the printed stuff. All right.
Okay.
Because you're going to get it. Now, of course, you can just order PDF, but I hate PDF. The reason why I don't like PDF is, of course, you're going to use your own card stock, but they're not going to look as good as the printed stuff. All right. PDF. This is the way to go, is to order it. You know, just order a copy of 1908. And yes, you can download the rule book and the charts for free. Midlife Crisis is right. If you want, just download the rule book.
Hey, Midlife.
You get a couple of teams to play. You can get a couple of teams to play. All right. I think he even has the 1986 Mets and Red Sox, I think, in there somewhere. You know?
Oh, those 2 scrub teams. Yeah. Just messing with you, man.
No, it's okay. That's all right.
No, it was a great World Series. So here it is. Yeah. So ASG Games has a shit ton of baseball games.
They have.
Ooh, those are nice looking cards.
They are nice looking cards.
Wow.
You start with the batter card, and if it's a blank, you then go to the pitcher card.
That's pretty clean looking. I like it.
It also has, you know, it's a lot simpler than it looks. Okay, and if you have the chart, and everything's all chart driven, and it even has even easier charts if you want to use them.
So how's the
you don't even need the cards? The D20 will tell you what happens.
So how's the footprint in the game, like in terms of real estate?
If somebody had bothered to come to one of my games,
oh my god.
Okay.
Oh my god!
You would see the footprint.
This guy.
The footprint is as big as Inside Pitch, and the Inside Pitch.
Well, that's not bad. Bad.
The Inside Pitch. See, here's your fast action cards. Okay.
Yeah, let's have a look at it here.
Okay. So you don't even need dice if you want. See the top row right there.
Yeah.
See the rows of there. Those are dice rolls. So if you want, you could just you could choose what column you want to be in, and then flip.
If you want to do it that way, you get a D36 roll, you get a D20 roll, get a D6. Okay, if you want to do it that way.
This looks pretty straightforward.
Plus, it tells you now. Look at that, fly out right field. So if there's a runner on first, he holds. If the runner on second and third, they all advance, unless a strong arm in the outfielder will hold the runners. You can have a run with a risk, and if you run with risk, it shows you what happens right there. Then you look at the bottom. At the bottom left, you'll see possible errors and range plays. On the bottom right, where if a ball is hit, where it's hit to, if it's a single or a double, or what happens with the base runners, and you just and you flip. That's it. It will give you exactly. And on the other side, those are your rare plays. On the card, like
that's pretty cool.
Plays. It's very cool. Everything is on the card. There are a couple of things you still may need the charts for, but I have the fast action cards, and I got the charts right next to me, and that it's very easy. Midlife Crisis, right? You can just download a free sample and try it out. But since you're a Dead Ball fan, I would really just order a copy of 1908, get the hardcover rules. He has updated the rules, by the way. When Greg Sovon passed away, the new guy updated the rules a little bit, made a couple of changes, and that's it. But there you go. There's Don Larson. He got Ted Williams. He has over 100 seasons. So you got 1908. He's got a lot. He's got plenty of Dead Ball for you to play. 1908, 1914, 1915. I think he's got 1917, 1918, 1919.
You see, one can never have enough dead balls. So that's
right.
And Ken has talked about this game, and he's a great game.
Yeah, it is.
There's another one that some guy did, and so there was a game though that gave me sticker shock for the seasons. I'm trying to think. It was developed by this Harvard professor. Ken, I think you remember the name. It's not this one. But it was it was another game, and I was gonna buy it, and I started looking at the season prices, and I literally thought, oh man, I better and I don't have a heart condition, dude. I'm thinking, oh, maybe I should take some nitroglycerin. I can't remember the name of the game, and it's like this really utility. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Probably not. It's this game that was developed by a Harvard professor. And you had to order, like you literally, Robert, you had to fill out like this order form for the teams that you wanted, because it didn't, and I forget how much it was per team. And it was like, oh my God. It was like for wealthy people, like Ken. I can't remember the name of the game now. We're all drawing a blank here, right?
Baseball game created by a Harvard professor.
Yeah, and it's not this. It's not Fall Classic.
No,
it's something else. Yeah, because it was like $50. It's like, okay. I mean, this a little bit more than what but I got to remember, cards and dice baseball is a bit more expensive than digital, obviously. But no, this game was like, oh my God. But the guy was claiming it's like the best, which I never understood this claim. But is it called ballpark baseball? Is that what it is? It looks great. It looks great. Let's see if that's it. I'll show you, Robert. This thing looks like this is a baseball player's wet dream, baby. But when I looked at the prices, it was like, oh my God, is this it?
Ballpark baseball?
I think this is it. Oh, I don't
no. Get out of there.
No, you know what I'll do is I'll just use Brave browser is what I could do. Let me see.
There's another one down there, ballpark baseball.
Yeah, it's probably going to give me the same date. Oh, there it is. This is it. This is the game. I'm going to blow this up here a little bit. I mean, look, it's dense, baby. Look at that, huh? There's Bob Veal. It's crazy here, right? Charles Sidman. Okay, now retired professor with input from some of his colleagues at Kansas. I'm sorry, I thought it was Harvard. But anyhow, even from Bill James. Ballpark. It's still being published by Dr. Sidman, and every ballpark chart from 1901 to the present, plus 1894 for an a la carte purchase. Each team costs $3 each park. So, but it starts to sort of go up a little bit. But description of the game. Let's see what we can find here. I mean, they're talking about this being Like, it looks cool. It looks cool. Ken has talked about it. You can buy individual teams in any colors. He says he sold all of his cards for a nice profit. But this, I mean, I don't know. There's something about this that really, it was like, this looks really cool.
I'm looking at it right now, seeing at the.
So 2,000 teams, 129 ballparks.
It was last updated, though, March 4th, 2007. Let's see.
I mean, look at all the ballparks, man.
See the ballparks, yeah, but I don't see where you can purchase anything.
So the purchase, here we go, prices and ordering.
Here it is.
Yeah, so here's what you got to do. This is literally how you do it. This is how you order what you want. So
you gotta order every team individually.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you want to purchase an entire season and it's $3, well, that's really not that.
That's
bad.
not that bad,
That's
but
not horrible. I mean,
but you also got to buy the park, and
Right.
but no, you can buy complete league years. Here we go. So no, you don't have to buy.
gotta be a secondary complete years, isn't there?
Yeah.
Where? Oh, complete league seasons. There you go.
Oh, so Ken says it's dead. Well, it looks like you can still buy stuff from it, though. I think. Should I try it? I don't know. It looks cool, though. It looks cool. Oh, my God. This is, why do I have to pick expensive hobbies and stuff, right? So, okay, so I used to be a professional magician and musician, and I'm starting back into pro
I'll
magic.
be honest, the price
Magic is expensive. Music, I'm a keyboard player, so you can
Yeah.
imagine. Synthesizers, expensive. Baseball, this is an expensive hobby. Why can't I find something cheap like collecting buttons or something? What's wrong with me? I don't know. Don't answer that, anybody.
I'll
be
be
all
honest.
night.
I'll actually be honest. If you this game, if it's $3 per team, it's actually cheaper than Appa.
Yeah.
Appa's way overpriced too.
Then maybe
Appa's
this
way
is not the
overpriced.
one I'm thinking of. There was one Robbie Wartburg, maybe Memory to Be Eternal, was telling me about this. Yeah, I'm looking at like, maybe this isn't it then. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I can't afford. No, geez. I'd have to be, well, I hate all millionaires right now, or billionaires, but I'll say I have to be Jeff Bezos since he's more politically aligned on my side. But either way, I don't know. Elon Musk is buying everything else. Maybe he'll buy this. I don't know. Do you hear that rumor? He's buying YouTube, and he's going to buy Hasbro, and he's going to buy all this stuff. Anyhow, so if Ken says it's dead, I wonder why they're still up here.
Ballpark baseballs. Is there any YouTube on this?
Is there any what?
Anything on YouTube on
I don't know.
that? I'm checking.
He says two elderly brothers refuse to sell effectively any company. You can't find teams anywhere. Okay, so this is just, I guess this is just up here.
Yeah, it's just a dead site.
Wow. Because look at that, you can if you were Jeff Bezos, you could just keep doing this forever and ever. Yeah.
If I was Jeff
right.
Bezos, I don't know if I'd be talking to you right now. I don't know. I'd probably be on a yacht somewhere.
Dude, I know I'm pissed off at him, but that's another subject. Anyhow,
I'm still buying from Amazon, so whatever.
No, but that's such a small part of his income, though.
I know, but that's okay.
Yeah,
But like I said, though, brother, this is, baseball games go up and down. There are so many of them out there right now, and I guess it's good to have choices. And everyone wants to say, "Oh, my game is the most accurate." Well,
I don't see. I don't know. I mean, so like, and here, so that brings up a thing. Now, and let's be, and again, not a knock on cards and dice baseball, but how, like, when like cards and dice companies were making these sorts of things back when PCs were available for everybody. Well, we're the most accurate. I'd love to talk to both Hal Richmond and if I could resurrect Mr. Seitz or whomever, right, going way back to National Pastime. I'd want to know, okay, how did you guys, like for Appa when it started in 1951, what did you use to test them? Because 51, right, they were like Univacs. I don't think these guys had access to those. How do you test the accuracy? Like, we could test the accuracy of this game right now, although it would still take a while because just running one season is not enough of a control. But I mean, I contend that it would be you could maybe easier make that claim for a digital game. So if we ran Action PC for 1,000 simulations, and we ran this for 1,000 simulations and compare them, if everything could be set up the way, right, as close to each other as possible. But you know what? The most accurate baseball I've ever seen is backtobaseball.com. And that's because you can just watch every game play out that's ever been played in baseball. I'm not looking. I'm looking for. I think Dwayne Martz put it best. He said he wants it to be reasonable, because, right? You know this, Robert. I mean, and it's like what Dave Gardner said: when you roll the dice or you press that mouse button, it's already a what if season. It's already fantasy, right?
Right.
If you're right, you're 19, right? You did 1969, which was awesome, by the way. My Pirates did a pretty good showing in 1969 in your league. But when you start your replays, Robert, because you do a lot of replays, are you looking for accuracy, or are you looking for, hey, listen, I want it to at least be not terribly, I don't want like these crazy anomalies, like you wouldn't want Cookie Rojas hitting 50 home runs. That's a problem with the engine, right? If that happened.
Remember also, I don't play every game during the season.
No, you don't. I know that. I do
one game for 3 days of baseball, utilizing the fast score system from Brian Davis for the 10-minute ticker to give me the standings. I'm not really looking for accurate. I'm not looking for accuracy in terms of the stats.
Thanks, midlife.
I am looking now. Remember, also my playoffs are expanded, so I have expanded postseasons where every season I've had so far has always had more teams in the playoffs. Like,
right,
for instance, okay, like in the 1969 season, the Baltimore Orioles, they were the 69 Orioles in my replay.
Mm-hmm.
They were the first team to have the best record to win the whole thing. Okay. Nobody else in all of my other replays have done that. The Baltimore Orioles, the 1969 Orioles, will be, and as far as RJL Network is concerned, is right now the greatest baseball team of all time in the network.
Sure.
They had 116 wins, and they won the whole thing. Okay, the Minnesota. But now remember, though, as I said, I have expanded postseasons. So the Orioles didn't go straight to the World Series to play the Minnesota Twins, who won the American League West in my replay, not the Athletics. Okay, and the Twins took them to five. I'm sorry, not the Athletics won that. The Twins were in second, but the Twins were the number 4 seed. They won the wild card. They had to go play they played the Orioles in the division series, and they took the Orioles to 5 games, and the Orioles won it. Okay, the 69 Orioles won it, but in 5 games. Then the Orioles took care of the Red Sox in 5, and then they took care of the Giants in 5. Okay, because they played the Giants in the World Series. My Mets didn't even get out of the division round. They got swept by the Giants 3-0. All right, that's inside pitch for you, and that's how my luck is with the dice. All right, when it comes to my Mets, I don't have to worry about 1983. My Mets were last, so I don't think I have to worry about the Mets in my 1983 replay. I don't have to worry about them at all. They're close to the bottom. But,
don't go to Vegas, Robert.
I'm not going to take the Mets on that. No, but still, okay. I really don't care much about the accuracy, because since I have expanded playoffs. Right. So there's always a possibility that a 6 seed or a 5 or a 4 could win the whole thing over the 1 or the 2. All right. So, I mean, it's okay. I really don't care. I care more about the fun factor that I get out of it. Yeah. I care a little bit more about which teams do well. For instance, the 69 Mets won the World Series. They got swept by the Giants, only because Bobby Bonds just kept on blasting home runs in the bottom of the innings. Okay? So Bobby Bonds killed my 69 Mets like Greg Luzinski killed my 7 for the Phillies, killed my 76 Mets. Okay. My Mets have not won a postseason series on the board. They had a 2-0 lead on the Giants in 1988. And
I know. What's
Giants
the deal with that, dude? Your Mets have. I know. You're like like this big Mets fan, dude, and like they're not getting it done for you.
I can't win a playoff series.
Damn it!
I can't win a playoff series, but still, that's how the dice go. But
yeah,
still,
that's it.
I mean, you know, it's really only designed for it's more for fun, and you know that's why I do it the way I do, because regular seasons, if you play like Ron Juckett, Uncle Ron just is finishing up. I think he's only got a couple games left in his '88 World Series between the Red Sox and the Reds.
Oh, he's still doing 88. Wow.
Yeah, he's still doing 88, and he's almost finished. He's only got a couple games, I think, left in that, and then he's done with 88. It took him almost a whole year to do it.
I know. I know I've been hearing he's been doing that like a while.
Right, he's been doing that almost a whole year. Okay, and because I don't want the regular season to be a grind. Because at one point I was doing 1 game per 2 days of baseball,
right? And
I felt when I was in the middle of May and June. I'm saying it's turning into a chore.
Right.
All right. That's when I decided to go 1 game per 3 days of baseball. So now the way I do it is I get about between 60 to 70 regular season games for the upcoming season, which is good. Okay, you'll get to see every team. Probably you may not get to see every player depending on when the team is played, but you will get to see every team at least twice. Okay, because I do 2 schedule blocks where all 24 or 26, 16 or 30 teams are shown, 28, whatever. I also do the All-Star game in the middle of the season. I always do the All-Star game. All right, and then of course I always do a final week where it's 1 game per 1 day of baseball, but that simulates the final week to see which teams are trying to get in the playoffs, which teams are not. You know, sometimes I just let Fast Score decide if I can, because I can't play them all. All right, I'll let Fast Score decide, or I'll play the game that I feel is the most important to play on the board. Okay, and then of course we go into the postseason. So 2.5 months for a regular season, and about 1.5 months of postseason play. Now,
well, that's what grips everybody, right?
Postseason, I play every game, of course.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
I play every game in the postseason, the wild card round, the divisional.
But you know what's fun? You know what's fun hearing you talk like this, and I think with everybody too. So to the guys who want that, right? You know, accuracy. But look, man, you were talking about how you did the replay the 1969, right? It didn't turn out the way, right? You know, it was supposed, you know, it did historically, but you have your own narrative and your own history. And that's what's so beautiful about this hobby is that those replays or those projects that we do, I think for me, at least, they're every bit as meaningful as going back and studying, you know, the actual 1949 season or the 1975 season or 1908 or whatever, where I can say, well, I did da, and you know, Tris Speaker did this, or like in our first McGreevy League, Nap Lajoie tore it up, and everybody was talking about that, and we were talking it as though we were studying actual baseball history, right? And so I like that, and so I want to know. I don't want it to be like if let's say we were doing if I was doing a 1979 replay, which isn't going to happen, but if I was. I'm not expecting. In fact, I'd be kind of happy if the Pirates maybe didn't make it. Right? They finished second, or what have you. You know, I want to. You know, as long as it's as Dwayne Martz once said, or many times, I want it to be reasonable. I'm accuracy. I mean, I don't want anomalies. Again, like I said, I don't want Freddie Patek hitting 50 home runs. You know, and I also don't Willie Stargell hitting like 3. But I still think that with these games, maybe people are talking about accuracy in terms of what's closest, like in terms of player performance, maybe. Because if I again, I can go back to baseball and have total 100% accuracy, but I'm not playing anything. I could simulate two teams together. You guys have seen that, right? Do you know that site, right? Back to Baseball. It's a great one. It's a great one. Yeah. Maybe while we're talking, we'll do one here real quick. But I don't know. I mean, what are your thoughts on that? Like, as far as like the narrative itself. Like,
I think the narrative is excellent. I mean, every game, every season that I've done so far since I started doing this, I have my own little encyclopedia, okay, of the final standings and the postseason results.
mm-hmm.
Of course, I have an MVP for every season. Okay, I have an MVP. All right, and and I try to keep track, of these, but it's it's just all it really is just is it random? Of course, yes, I am using somebody's game engine to play the game on the board, and of course, I'm using somebody's game engine to simulate the background. The 10-minute ticker. Okay. And it all depends on what and the rest is all decided by the dice. So it's all decided by the dice. It's all it is, okay. And how the dice rolls here, how the dice rolls there. There've been so many times where, like, if I see the one according to Fast Score, I'll say one team. While this team has a 21 versus a 1, there should be no way this team should lose, and the dice just don't go the way, anything like that. It's just, it's all. There's a lot of randomness, yes, because you're using dice, you're using game engines, you're using, that kind of thing. It's just, I don't know. I mean, the 69 Mets, let me tell you something.
We just played them against the 68 Tigers. So not too bad there. Not too bad.
They're not bad, but the 68 Tigers were a better team.
Yeah. Right? But I mean, out of 5,000 simulations, that's pretty nice.
Were a great team that won the World Series. Okay. They were a great team that won the World Series that year. The Baltimore Orioles were superior to the 69 Mets in every way.
Well, let's put the 69 Orioles against, pick a team for baseball history, and let's run simulate. I love doing this on this site. It's fun. So let's just see what the Baltimore Orioles do against, name a team, Robert.
69 Orioles.
Yeah.
Were the greatest teams to not win the World Series, and put them against the 69 Mets.
Okay, and we're gonna give the Orioles home team because you've been talking. So we'll put them against the 69 Mets. Okay.
Get them home, 69 Mets.
So guys, this is a great site. There's more than you can do than just this, but this is just fun. So it runs 5,000 simulations. You can change lineups or whatever you want to do. So we'll go ahead and we'll just view them anyhow. So this is largely
Tom Seaver. I would probably change McNally, and I'd probably put Mike Cuellar. I would probably use Mike Cuellar for the pitcher instead of McNally. Cuellar was better that year. I would probably change McNally to Cuellar.
Oh, you're saying you want Cuellar?
Yes, I want Mike Cuellar in there. He was a better.
There we
Mike
go.
Cuellar was was the best pitcher for that team.
Okay.
Even though Palmer was the guy, but Mike Cuellar was the best pitcher for that team that year. He was their ace, really.
Okay. You happy with both lineups?
No, you can. Yeah. No. Remember, you got to change Mike. I think you still have McNally as the pitcher. I see Cuellar, but as a batter for some reason.
Really? He's right on the other side of. Down here. Duh.
Yeah, down there.
Ah, shit. Okay, let me start over.
Start over. Yep.
Yeah.
Tom Seaver against Mike, because Cuellar was the best pitcher the Orioles had that year.
Gotcha. And he was.
Dutch is correct. They were an 87, a 75 team. They just had great clutch. That's the thing. That's the thing about the 1986 Mets. That's one of the best teams of all time.
Well, why don't we put the 69 Orioles against the 86 Mets?
69 first. Do 69 first.
69 first? Okay.
69 first.
All
I wouldn't be surprised in the simulations that the Orioles will win more games than the Mets should, I think.
All right, so we're switching out McNally for Cuellar, right?
To Mike Cuellar.
All right, we can do that. We have the technology. All right, let's do that.
Mike Cuellar.
Bam. All right. Are we good on both sides now?
Now I think you're good, and I think you still got to change McNally above him to Cuellar as well. Otherwise, McNally's going to be pitching. So remember, there's no DH in this league.
Right.
So now I think you change to Cuellar there.
Okay.
He's the batter. Right now you perform the simulation.
All right, here we go. Anybody want to make book? All right, so JT Dutch already read my mind, says he's going to be 60-40 Orioles. Ken says 1884 Grays. We'll have to see if it goes back that far. That'd be fun if it did. All right, here we go. 5,000 simulations. Wouldn't have even imagined this back when I was playing Micro League. And the results are in.
Yeah, exactly. 60-40.
60-40. Wow.
60-40. The 1969 Orioles would be considered a favorite if these two were to actually face off in the World Series. But remember also,
and you can look
remember
also,
this is a simulation, but it's not changing the pitchers.
No.
It's not. You're using the same pitcher, Tom Seaver versus Cuellar.
Right, over 5,000 simulations, right? So you can change any of these guys up.
You need to give them a pitching rotation.
Oh, sure you do.
There needs to be a rotation. So in that case, you would have Seaver. Then probably, since it's 1969, they used 3-man rotations for the World Series.
Right.
So it would be Seaver, Kuzman, and then Gentry. And then for the Orioles, they would use Cuellar, probably Palmer or McNally, and then whoever was it, or Palmer. Okay, so those are the best pitchers back then for that.
All right, who gets home team against the Mets? You want to put the Mets home or Baltimore home?
Put the Mets home now and Shea.
All right, that sounds good. I want to check something from Cousin Ken. I want to see how far back this goes. It only goes back to 1900. So I guess we're not going to get the Grays. We got to do a 19th century show something just for Ken.
Do this real quick.
What's that?
Go back to 1919. Do the 1919 Chicago White Sox against the 1919 Reds.
Oh,
because remember, the White Sox threw that World Series. Let's see if the Chicago White Sox really were the best team, were a better team than the Reds were.
Okay, we're going to give Cincinnati home field. That's what they had. That's what they had.
Right.
So, all right. And we'll see if Eddie Seacott hit the first. What Murray Rath was who he hit. All right. So, Chicago White Sox, where are you? Much better White Sox than 2024. Yeah. All right. Let's see here. Lefty Williams. Now Dutch Ruther, I would put So instead of Lefty Williams, Eddie Seacott, definitely.
Want Eddie Seacott.
Yeah. No brainer there, my brother.
You got to use Seacott.
Right, there we go.
And for the Reds, I think you would use
Ruther's pretty good. Ruther's pretty good.
Ruther was good, but I don't think he was their best pitcher that year. Hold on. I don't think he was. I didn't use Dutch Ruther for the Reds game against the Athletics.
Okay.
Who'd you use? Hold on. I'll help you. Give me. Shoot.
Take a moment, man. It's fine.
Hold on.
So Midlife says that in his strat replay, the Sox won 4-2 in his World Series.
I actually used Slim Sally over Dutch Ruther, only because Sally was a 20-game winner. But if you want to use Dutch Ruther, you could also. It won't matter.
I already got him in here.
So use Slim Sally.
Okay. We can do that.
Use him.
All right.
And that would be against Eddie Seacott. Let me make sure let me see the rosters are correct. Let me see. Leibold, Weaver, Collins, Jackson. You know, Eddie Collins actually is the only Hall of Famer, I think, one of the only Hall of Famers from that team, actually.
No, Ray Schalk. Ray Schalk is also a Hall of Famer.
Schalk is in there too. Yeah, everybody else, let's see, Rath, Neil, Grove.
Yeah, but the guys that should have been in, Seacott could have been in, Joe Jackson could have been in.
Albert, Koff. Yeah, that's the same. That's pretty much the lineups.
Go ahead, performance simulation. Let's see.
Oh wait, they're saying to go with Hod Eller for Cincinnati. I'm getting 2 votes for Hod Eller here.
Hod Eller.
How about if we'll run it once with Saley
Hod Eller
and
had
Sally.
a 2.39 ERA. Ruther at a 1.82. Sally at a 2.06.
Let's run them both. Let's see. We'll start with Sally. Here we go, guys. Nobody's making book here in this one. I think Chicago wins this the majority of the time. Yep.
Yeah, 55%.
And again, with these, you can go down and look at box scores. It gives you the first 25 games. Decent sampling. I mean, he's going to sit here and wade through.
Low scoring. Are those the scores? Those are the low scoring games.
Yeah, pretty much. There's a couple. Well, for that time, Bloods. It's a couple 5. No, there's a 6-5 game. Nice 6-5 game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's modify it and let's put in Hod Eller.
Now put in Hod Eller.
Yeah. Okay, Slim, you did what you could. All right. Jeez. Really? All right, I'll just do it this way. I can't be arsed.
So Hod Eller.
Yeah, and then one more.
You change the there.
Yep.
And still keep Cott on the mound.
Oh yeah. Knuckles stays.
He would be a Hall of Famer if it wasn't for this year. I think Cott makes the Hall of Fame if it wasn't for the Black Sox game.
Okay.
And I love the movie, by the way. Although the movie, messes up. The movie
messes up a lot, actually.
The movie messes up a lot. First of all,
except it got the ballparks right.
Yeah, sort of, at least as far as I know. But they made, first of all, they got, I think the game they use late in the season is against the St. Louis Browns. And that didn't end on a strikeout by, that didn't end on a fly out to Happy Felsch. That ended in a bottom of the ninth where the White Sox won that game. And they also have, and of course, one of the more glaring mistakes in that movie for the White Sox was the pitcher Dickie Kerr.
Well, he wasn't part of it, right? He wasn't part of it.
No, he wasn't. But Dickie Kerr pitched the 3rd game of the World Series, but they had him as a righty. Dickie Kerr's a lefty.
He's a lefty, yeah.
Dickie Kerr was a lefty, so they had him as a righty in that game. Okay, so
it messed up a lot of things. You want to get somebody fired up, get Cousin Ken going. But where I do think they got it right with the ballparks. I think the atmosphere of the game was really, really good. What disappointed me about that movie was not because Christy Mathewson and Huey Fullerton played pivotal roles in kind of exposing that, and I wish they could have written that in. And they made Eddie Collins. That guy was totally miscast as Eddie Collins, but there you go. So here, Midlife says that Stan Musial credits Dickie Carr for his career. That's wild. All right, here we go, guys. Now we got Hod Eller and Eddie Cott for 5,000 simulations. Let's see what happens. I think this White Sox just too much of their offense is like crazy.
52% better.
Oh my God, yeah, a little bit better. Yeah. So this is fun, but there's other things you can do too. You can go to players.
But remember, also, this is a simulation.
It's a simulation.
But this doesn't take into account. I can already click on one of the scores real quick.
Yeah, let's pick a 1-0 game. They're fun.
You pick a 1-0 game for the White Sox.
There we go.
So it shows outs, that stuff, but it doesn't show. But here's the thing: it simulates, yes, but it doesn't simulate pinch hitting. It doesn't simulate bringing in a new pitcher. It doesn't simulate strategy.
No, and I don't think that's what it's supposed to do. I think it's just let's take these two teams with their starting lineups, or you can change out whatever you want. And I think it's just that because look at the right. I mean, and I agree with you, but look at the difference, right, between again, with Hod Eller in there now, Cincinnati does do a little bit better. And I think it's fun for that. I mean, and imagine if you want to try this, and even a game that simulates seasons faster than any, and that's baseball for Windows. Could you imagine still running that 5,000 times?
Oh,
I mean, that would take. So it would still take probably about 24 hours, if not more. Probably 2 days, probably 2-3 days to do it. Somebody else had another one here: the 69 Mets against the 70 or 73 Mets, says JT Dutch. Oh, but let's try one more thing here. Midlife, since we're still at 1919, what if Red Faber wasn't ill and could pitch? Red Faber, Hall of Famer.
Yep.
So let's do it. Let's modify it.
Red Faber would have pitched probably right after, instead of Dickie Kerr. I think he probably would have pitched before. I think Red Faber probably would have pitched the third game, maybe, instead of Dickie Kerr. Red Faber though did not have that great a year though. He had a 3.83 ERA in 1990.
Yeah, it's too bad we can't say okay, make him not ill. But
No,
we'll just see. Okay, everything's changed. We'll leave Hod Eller in there. Although, no, what was the first pitcher? Dutch Ruther. Let's bring Dutch Ruther. Let's put in Ruther. We got to give Dutch some love, or he's up there in heaven saying, "What the hell? Come on, guys." See, I'm sick that way. I think that all the Ghosts of the Dead Ball guys are like, somebody remembers us now. So there we go. All right, here we go. I don't know. I just think this is such a fun waste of time.
Meanwhile, Joe Jackson is saying, "Why am I not in the Hall of Fame?"
Who's saying that? Joe Shula's show. I know.
Look at the Cincinnati Reds beat the White Sox there with Ruther.
Holy shit. Look at that. 58-41. Damn. Wow. Look at that. Isn't that crazy? What do you guys think about that?
But Dutch Ruther had a 1.82 ERA.
Yeah.
Compared to Sally, who had a 2.06, which is almost 0.2 higher. So Dutch Ruther, maybe you should have started him instead of Sally against.
No kidding.
Against the Athletics, but I don't think it would have mattered. But like I said, JT Dutch is right. It just measures frontline talent. It's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's fun. It's fun to me, I guess. That's all. I mean, but what's cool about this thing is you can like pick a player even, and then like you could go and look at not like the actual, but you'd like watch out the plays, like for Jimmy Fox's home run, right? Because he had his first home run 2 years after his rookie year. So there's a lot of fun things you could do. You could go back to historical games, in baseball history, and there's the Microsoft narrator if you want that crap, but also just watching it play out in your screen, which is kind of fun to do. Or we can click on a date here. I don't know what I'm doing here on in 2024, but let's pick a year. Let's go back to 19 something or other.
1919. Go back to that.
19. We're just hung up on dead ball tonight. All right.
Hung up on dead ball.
I can't stand dead ball. No. Okay, so let's play the White Sox. And who finished second to the White Sox that year? I can't remember.
Who finished second was who finished second that year was hold on.
Oh, here we go. I just go over here and we'll just pick a game. But it's not, the White Sox weren't playing that day. Oh yeah, they were. White Sox and Browns.
The Cleveland Indians finished second to the White Sox.
Right, because they had the big pennant race in 1920 that they won because Landis dropped the hammer in 1920.
Right. The Cleveland Indians finished second to the White Sox that year.
So this is really nice because we can look at the box score of the game, lineups and summary. We can just do a visual play-by-play or text play-by-play of the entire game. So this is a great way to just visit games back in the day in a more organic way. Not to knock Baseball Reference, but this is a nice sort of thing. Hint for the McGreevy League. Might be great to look at some of these guys like, this fellow George Sisler.
He's a bum.
Yeah, I know, right? What a scrub.
He's a bum.
Jeez.
What a scrub.
So while we're talking here, we'll just let it do its thing. There we go. And there we go. So But yeah, I mean, I'm not, again, as long as it's believable, maybe that's what the word Dwayne was using. As long as it's believable, I'm fine. I want to have fun. If I want to learn baseball history, which I am always doing that, there's so much I don't know. I got books, websites, I can do that. Baseball gaming for me is a way I want to learn about players. And I think that for the most part, so many of these games that we play, whether cards and dice or digital, I think you do get a really good sense of players. And especially, I can't tell you, Robert, how many players I've learned more about playing baseball simulations, that I never knew about Howie Shanks before that our Howie Shanks League has started. Look at Sister, that bum. Look at him up there at second base. Isn't he happy?
He's a bum.
Oh, a triple, baby. There we go. Here comes gorgeous George. Okay, perfect example. Ken Williams. How many people, probably in this chat, have heard of Ken Williams? But by and large, most baseball fans have never heard of Ken Williams. And that guy was a fearsome player. Not Hall of Fame, but he was a tough player, man. Ken Williams, hell of a hitter, had speed, the whole thing. So, isn't this fun? This is kind of cool. Or else either that or I'm just really off my meds. But I love this shit. I
think both.
Well, that's all right. What baseball fan isn't? What baseball fan isn't?
Well, tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to close it out here. It's 1:30.
All right, Robert, thank you as always for coming on, man.
It's always a pleasure, and I'll have a game tomorrow night, and if you're not there, man, we're going to fight.
I'll be there. Hey, remember, we still have a debate coming up before you run away. We do have a debate.
Why do you want me to prove? Why do you want me to prove beyond the shadow of a doubt that Koufax is the best left-hander in baseball?
Dude, Lefty Grove says hold my beer, so we'll set this up soon. And I'll get somebody who's completely neutral about it, right?
Listen, man. Willie Stargell said trying to hit Sandy Koufax is like trying to drink coffee with a fork.
Oh my God! Sleep well, my friend. I'll see you tomorrow night at your game.
There, Beatles. I'll see you next time.
All right, buddy.
Bye.
All right. Always good to have Robert on, man. Thank you. But hopefully he and I are going to have our more discussion. And I'm just saying, this is how it all started. Robert said that Sandy Koufax, greatest left-hander of all time. And I'm offering Lefty Grove in response. So we're going to have a little discussion. It'd be nice though. So Midlife, thanks for coming in. Hey, Rick Guzman, thank you. We're still messing about here. All right, now we're going to do something here for really quick for Mike because he mentioned it, and we're going to do it. Damn it! So he said Tony La Russa. All right, I'm going to turn down the volume a little bit only because I think the opening music is loud. Here's we're going to do some Tony La Russa Baseball 3. How about that? Let's let a game play out. It'll be fun. And yes, you can still buy this game. It's awesome stuff. Stormfront Studios. Who also made Old Time Baseball. Great game. So, Mike, I hope this is bringing back some memories. Yep, Lotus of 3, JT. All right. I always love this bass lick in here. So Tony gives some great tips in here and stuff like that. But let's just do an exhibition game. Let you guys pick the teams. I don't care. Well, we'll probably get a copyright strike here, but oh well, it's all right. YouTube algorithm, this is academic fair use. What year was this game? 1994? I don't know. 19... Oh, sample loop. All right, JT is in here, so we got to have a Dodgers team in here. And Midlife left. He's a Phillies fan, so we'll do Phillies Dodgers. Yeah? All right. So visiting team Philadelphia, home team Los Angeles. And Mel Allen, of course. All right. Dun, 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 dun. Computer. Picture view. Yeah. We'll leave it at one pitch mode. Jumbo vision. I don't remember. Okay, let's do it. Let's play. Not a bad looking ballpark. Not a bad looking rendering for the time, eh? I think this is 94 JT. I think.
Hello there, everybody. Welcome to Chavez Ravine in beautiful Los Angeles, where today we'll see Philadelphia play Los Angeles in this exhibition. Today, the weather is pleasant with 60% humidity. The wind is blowing out at about 5 miles per hour. I'm Mel Allen, and I'm here to bring you all the action. Leading off the inning, the center fielder, batting .273. He delivers. There's a high pop-up for the catcher. Caught, one down. Next batter, the second baseman, batting .292.
So the fun part about this game, Tony La Russa 96, and then old-time baseball, is you can actually get in here, change player ratings, manager tendencies and stuff. So, and you can play it as an arcade game or a management game. Of the three, Tony La Russa 96 plays like smoothest, but really fun. And old-time baseball was actually started life as expansion discs for this game, for Tony La Russa 3. And then there was such a positive feedback to it that it became its own game and has every season from 1871 to 1981. It includes Union Association, Players League, American Association, Federal League. So good stuff.
Here comes the pitch.
Exactly, Rick. The truncated season.
Here comes the pitch. It's a slow ground ball hit out right back to the pitcher. And the throw to first. Got him. Out number 2. Coming up to bat for the right fielder, batting .300. It's a bouncer right through the infield. The throw to second base. A single. Next batter, the first baseman, hitting .302.
Yeah, it really is, isn't it, Mike?
It's a slow ground ball hit out right down the third baseline. And the throw to first. Got him. That ends the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. Middle of the first inning. No score. Leading off, the center fielder, hitting .314.
So I had read somewhere that Mel Allen really, really enjoyed doing for this game for 96 and for old time baseball, and really, really worked hard in the studio and he would even ask, like, could I repeat this line or that line or this name? And yeah, I think they did a great job considering the time. And I think the same for Baseball for Windows. Obviously, Baseball for Windows, better announcing because it's using a lot more technology. But this was like the first. And to do this for a serious baseball sim, good stuff. Available out there. You guys can pick this up for like practically nothing. And it's already configured to run for you. So you want to blast from the past, there you go.
There's a slow ground ball hit out to first. He takes it to the bag himself.
Right, 3 announcers.
First out of the inning. Now coming up, the second baseman, batting .250.
What if we can switch them out? I forget. Let me see. I don't think you can switch the announcer in game because Lon Simmons is pretty good. But we'll go ahead and let Mel do it. But yeah, Hank Greenwald, Lon Simmons, and Mel Allen.
A line drive to center field. That's a base hit to the second baseman. Now batting the catcher, hitting .319. For ball 4.
MLB The Show before its time. Here it is.
Now that brings up the third baseman, hitting .280.
I think Lon Simmons says most of the names in this edition.
Grounded, and he's out at second. And the throw to first. A 6-4-3 double play. That ends the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. Going to the top of the second, it's 0-0. Leading off, the catcher, hitting .300.
May his memory be eternal. Darren Dalton. Little Dutch, huh?
Here comes the pitch. A line drive to center field. Caught the first out of the inning. The throw to second base.
Now I'm just curious. We're going to go ahead and knock out of this because I want to look at the later edition of this. Tony La Russa Baseball 96. Unless we're stuck. No, we're not. Okay, that's good because it's no fun when you get stuck like that. All right, so this next one here, this was like kind of the next game in the series. And I'm not going to show old-time baseball. You guys have seen it on here, so. But it's pretty cool, too. So, what it was, JT, is there was Tony La Russa Baseball 3, and then there was Tony La Russa Baseball 3, the 1996 edition, as you can see on the splash screen. It took Stormfront Studios about 1.5 years to get this game done. Wow. All right, again, let's do an exhibition game. You could even do fantasy drafts in this and all kinds of stuff. So really, there's really a lot of value in these games. And then old-time baseball giving you 110 seasons. Love these games. Again, we'll just do the same 2 teams. Well, let's switch one up. Let's have the, I don't know. Maybe should we play an American League team? We'll do the Dodgers. We'll make them the visitors. We'll let this one play out a little longer. Well, why not? Let's have them play the Yankees. There we go. And we'll let Lon Simmons call the game this time. And make sure keyboard, manager, computer. And okay, leave it at 1-pitch mode. Yeah, this should be fun. Let's do it.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Yankee Stadium in New York, where today we'll see Los Angeles play New York in this exhibition. The weather today is frigid and foggy with 50% humidity. The wind is blowing from right to left at about 10 miles per hour. This is Lon Simmons, and I'm here to bring you all the exciting action. Starting off the inning, the lineup is Shields, hitting .256. Strike 3. That's one down. That's strikeout number 1.
Much faster.
Now batting, Jose Offerman, hitting .287. A high fly to right. Caught by Williams.
Oh, that's cool, Rick. I never heard of that. That is so cool.
Raul Mondesi, batting .285. He delivers.
That's cool.
Hot grounder. A single for Mondesi. Coming up to bat, Mike Piazza, hitting .346. The runner goes. He dives in safely. He steals second.
Out of the Park needs a jumbotron, man. Pardon me.
Ball 4, he walks him.
I never heard of that, Rick. I think that's super
brings
cool.
Up Eric Karros.
I have to look for that.
Batting .298. Strike 3. That ends the inning. That's the second strikeout he's chalked up today. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 runners left on. Middle of the first. It's 0-0. Leading off is Luis Polonia, batting .261.
Hideo Nomo. How about it? There we go.
A high chopper to second. Got him. That's 1 down. Next batter, Wade Boggs, batting .324. A high fly to left. He makes the catch. That's 2 down. That brings up the right fielder, hitting .300.
Paul O'Neill didn't get his name in there. Damn it.
Hot grounder to second. Got him. That's the 3rd out. 3 up, 3 down. Going to the top of the second. Los Angeles 0. New York 0.
Oh, Mike, that would have been a hell of a game.
Roberto Kelly hitting .279.
That would have been a hell of a game to see.
Loop down the left field line. He throws to second. Base hit for Kelly. That brings up Tim Waller, batting .266. He comes to the stretch. Grounded out at second. A 6-4-3 double play. Coming up next, Brett Butler, batting .274. Grounded up the middle. It bounces through the infield. A single for Butler. Up next, Hideo Nomo, batting .091. A high chopper up the third base line. Out at second. The side is retired. No runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 runner left. That's 1.5 innings gone. Los Angeles 0. New York 0. Starting off the inning, Don Mattingly hitting .288.
That's wild. Kerry Wood was quite a pitcher, man.
Popped up the first. He makes the catch. There's the first out of the inning. Up next, Bernie Williams, batting .307. He comes to the plate. Popped up, the catcher. He makes the catch. 2 down. Coming up to bat, Mike Stanley, batting .268. Ball 4, he walks him. That brings up Tony Fernandez, hitting .245. The runner goes. He slides in under the tag. A stolen base for Stanley. The pitch. Loop to right. Caught by DeShields. That ends the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and one runner left. After two,
I will definitely
no
look
score.
for that, Rick. That's
Leading
wild.
off is Delino DeShields. He's 0 for 1 to strikeout. Popped up, the catcher. Fouled.
So a lot of nice touches in this game.
Strike 3. Struck him out. 1 out. That's his third strikeout today. Next up, Jose Offerman. He's 0 for 1 in this game. A liner to left. And that one's going all the way to the wall. Pulls into second with a double. Now batting, Raul Mondesi. He's 1 for 1 with a single and with a stolen base. Line to short. Caught by Fernandez. That's 2 down. Next batter, Mike Piazza, hitting .346.
Yeah, it sure is, Rick.
A liner the first. He takes it to the bag himself. That's the third out. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left. After 2.5 innings, Los Angeles 0, New York 0. Leading off the inning, Randy Velarde, hitting .278. That's his second walk in only 2 innings of pitching. That brings up David Cone.
So I think the crowning jewel in a lot of ways, I mean, these ballparks are nice. Some night I'll show old time baseball, and there's still people that use like those ballparks, like in other sort of text-based sims. And what Stormfront Studios did is they went to an architectural firm, Osborne and Associates, who had a lot of the blueprints for the 16 these old ballparks in old time baseball. And granted, 1995 game, but they look beautiful. So if you happen to have the game, check it out. But old time baseball is really fun. So it takes what these games do, and you want to talk about a fantasy draft and the things that you can do in that game. So you're not confined to one season, but mix and match the way you want. It's brilliant. But these are fun. These are fun games. And before I let it start again, a lot of us are clamoring for like an Ernie Harwell or this type of narrator even. But you know what? I mean, I don't know what they paid Ernie Harwell, what Appa paid him, or what Stormfront paid Greenwald, Simmons, and Mel Allen. But you couldn't afford. I mean, could you imagine trying to pay somebody like John Miller to do something like this these days? I think they almost have to use AI. They really do. Or hire Chris Slovic. I don't know which.
Line drive to right. He makes the catch. There's the first out of the inning. Throw to second. Up next, Luis Polonius.
I did
He's
see that,
0 for 1
Mike.
in this game.
I did. That is so cool. Some of those ballparks are amazing.
Slow grounder out at second. The throw to first.
But that
Next
shows.
batter, Wade Boggs. He's 0 for 1.
But I mean, that just shows how dedicated the out of the park community is. Your work, Mike Silva's work, the guys who did the 19th century parks, that whole collection, the Jazz Age ballparks, stuff like that. I mean, to actually getting those blueprints and, because, I mean, for us to actually, none of us saw full field pictures, photographs of like Palace of the Fans, for instance, in Cincinnati, or Exposition Park in Pittsburgh, because there's a few pictures of them, but not something that, like Sportsman's Park. Easy enough to find tons of pictures of Sportsman's Park, Ebbets, Forbes Field, places like that. But those old ballparks, man, I think that's so cool. And I downloaded a bunch of those, Mike. Just good stuff.
In this game, the runner goes. Throw to second. Safe. That's a stolen base for Polonia.
Okay, that was cute the first time, but
Grounded to first. He takes it to the bag himself. That ends the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left. At the end of 3, no score. Starting off the inning, Eric Karros. He's 0 for 1 to strikeout.
They're in the integrated mod, Mike says, guys.
Fly ball to left. He makes the catch. 1 down.
I'm going to have to
Now
install
batting,
that, Mike, and
Roberto
show that
Kelly.
off some
He's
night.
1 for 1 with a single.
Yeah.
Called strike 3. That's
it's
2
a great
down.
one. I've
That's
messed
the
with
fourth
it
K the
offline,
pitcher's earned
like-
today. That brings up Tim Waller. He's 0
And
for
then,
1 today.
Long story about something, why it's not on there right now, but I'm subscribed.
Luke to left. Short hop by Polonia. A single for Waller. Up next, Brett Butler. He's 1 for 1 with a single. He comes to the stretch.
I would definitely do
Fly
that, Mike.
ball to center. Caught by Williams. And that's the 3rd out. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left. 3.5 down. No score. Starting off the inning, the right fielder. He's 0 for 1 today. A liner to the right. Diving stop by Mondesi. A single for now batting Don Mattingly. He's 0 for 1 today.
Oh.
He delivers. A liner to the right. It gets through the right side. A single for Mattingly. That brings up Bernie Williams. He's 0 for 1 today.
Nice touch there with the base runners.
Fly ball to the right. Caught by Mondesi. 1 out. That brings up Mike Stanley, batting .268. Grounded up the middle. Diving stop by DeShields. Got him. Coming up next, Tony Fernandez. He's 0 for 1 today. Strike 3, and that's the 3rd out. That's strikeout number 1 for the pitcher today. No runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left on. Top of the 5th, no score. Leading off is Hideo Nomo. He's 0 for 1 today.
So, Rick, it's interesting how you mentioned that because you can hear the little skips. So it's actually – so this game is already configured to run using a virtual CD. But so those little skips that you're hearing would have been the skips you would have heard back in, like, if your computer back in the day, which is really funny, only had 8 megs of RAM. Right now we have gigabytes of RAM now in our systems. But 8 megs of RAM, it was hitting that CD more, and you're hearing a lot of the sample looping. But I will, after this game, I'll put a link in here where you can buy this game, in old time baseball and tons of other games. Good stuff. Hey, Pesky Pole, great to see you, man. Welcome in. He says this game brings back great memories. Good to see you, man.
Strike 3. Struck him out. 1 out. That's the pitcher's 5th K today. Coming up to bat, Delino DeShields. He's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. The pitch. A liner to second. The throw to first. Got him. That's 2 down. Next batter, Jose Offerman. He's 1 for 2 with a double. The pitch. Popped up. The catcher. Fouled. Grounded to short. It bounces through the infield. Gobbled up by the shortstop. The throw to first. He beats it out. Base hit for Offerman. Coming up to bat, Raul Mondesi. He's 1 for 2 with a single and with a stolen base. Fly ball to left. Caught by Polonia. That'll do it for the visitors in the 5th. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left. Middle of the 5th, Los Angeles 0, New York 0. Leading off the inning, Randy Velarde, batting .278. Strike 3. There's the 1st out of the inning. That's 2 strikeouts for the pitcher today. That brings up David Cone. He's 0 for 1 in this game. The pitch. Grounded. Got him. 2 down. That brings up Luis Polonia. He's 0 for 2 with the stolen base. Here's the pitch. Line drive to right. He makes the catch, and that's the third out. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. 5 innings gone, no score. Starting off the inning, Mike Piazza. He's 0 for 1 with a walk. He comes to the plate. To third. Diving stop by Boggs. Got him. That's 1 down. Coming up to bat, Eric Karros. He's 0 for 2, a strikeout. That's his second walk. Next batter, Roberto Kelly. He's 1 for 2 with a strikeout and with a single. Strike 3. Struck him out. 2 outs now. That's his 6th strikeout today. That brings up Tim Waller. He's 1 for 2 with a single. The pitch. Strike 3. That ends the inning. That's the 7th strikeout he's recorded in just 6 innings. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left. We've played 5.5. Los Angeles 0. New York 0. Leading off the inning, Wade Boggs. He's 0 for 2 today. He delivers. Strike 3. 1 out. That's his 3rd strikeout today. Up next, the right fielder. He's 1 for 2 with a single. Hot grounder to second. Got him. Next batter, Don Mattingly. He's 1 for 2 with a single. A high fly to right. Caught by Mondesi. The side is retired. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on. Beginning of the 7th. It's 0-0. Pinch hitting Brett Butler, a utility infielder, batting .238. Strike 3. That's 1 down. That's the 8th strikeout for the starter today. Coming up next, Hideo Nomo. He's 0 for 2 to strikeout. Strike 3. Struck him out. That's 2 down. That's the 9th strikeout for this pitcher today. That brings up Delino DeShields. He's 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Bunt up the third base line. Picked up by Boggs. The throw to first. That's a base hit for DeShields. Coming up to bat, Jose Offerman. He's had a good day at the plate. He's 2 for 3 with a single and with a double. A liner to second. Out at second. And that's the 3rd out. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left. 6.5 innings gone. It's 0-0. Leading off the inning, Bernie Williams. He's 0 for 2 today. He comes to the plate. Hot grounder to second. Got him. That's 1 down. Coming up next, Mike Stanley. He's 0 for 1 with a walk and with a stolen base. Called strike 3. 2 down. That's the 4th K the pitcher's earned today. Now batting, Tony Fernandez. He's 0 for 2 to strikeout. Bunt, the catcher. Caught by Piazza. The side is retired. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on. Top of the 8th. Los Angeles 0. New York 0. Leading off is Raul Mondesi. He's 1 for 3 with a single and with a stolen base. Strike 3. There's the 1st out of the inning. That's strikeout number 10 for the pitcher as he reaches double digits today. That brings up Mike Piazza. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. Called strike 3. That's out number 2. That's the 11th strikeout he's had today. Up next, Eric Karros. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout and with a walk. Lined, it bounces through the infield. That's a base hit for Karros. Now batting, Roberto Kelly. He's 1 for 3 with 2 strikeouts and with a single. Grounded. and suddenly they have the winning run in scoring position. Coming up to bat, Tim Waller. He's 1 for 3 with a strikeout and with a single. That one's up the left field alley, and that one's going all the way to the wall. That's a double for Waller, driving in a pair of runs. Los Angeles 2, New York 0. Next up, Todd Hollinsworth, batting .233. Strike 3, struck him out. That ends the inning. 2 runs on 2 hits, 1 error, and 1 runner left. After 7.5 innings of play, Los Angeles 2, New York 0. Leading off the inning, Randy Velarde. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout and with a walk. Strike 3, 1 down. That's the pitcher's 5th K today. Now batting, David Cone. He's 0 for 2 today. He comes to the plate. Popped up, the catcher. Fouled. A high fly to right. He makes the catch. That's 2 down. That brings up Luis Polonia. He's 0 for 3 with the stolen base. Ball 4. That's 3 walks given up. Now batting, Wade Boggs. He's 0 for 3 to strikeout. Here's the pitch. Called strike 3. That ends the inning. That's his 6th strikeout today. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left. After 8 full, Los Angeles 2, New York 0. Leading off the inning, Hideo Nomo. He's 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Called strike 3. 1 out. Coming up to bat, Delino DeShields. He's 1 for 4 with 2 strikeouts and with a single. Grounded. Got him. That's out number 2. Next batter, Jose Offerman. He's 2 for 4 with a single and with a double. Ball 4, he walks him. That's 3 walks given up. Next up, Raul Mondesi. He's 1 for 4 with a single and with a stolen base. The payoff pitch. Strike 3, and that's the 3rd out. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left. And we're going to the bottom of the 9th. Los Angeles leads New York by 2 runs. Leading off is the right fielder. He's 1 for 3 with a single. The pitch. A liner to second. Got him. There's the 1st out of the inning. Coming up next, Don Mattingly. He's 1 for 3 with a single. A liner to right. A single for Mattingly. Next up, Bernie Williams. He's 0 for 3 today. He comes to the stretch. Strike 3. Struck him out. 2 down. That's the 7th strikeout he's recorded today. Coming up next, Mike Stanley. He's 0 for 2 with a walk and with a stolen base. Here's the pitch. Ball 4. He walks him. That's 4 walks given up. Hitting for Tony Fernandez. The left-hander hitting .276. A high chopper to second. He beats it out. Base hit for Strawberry. That brings up Randy Velarde. He's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts and with a walk. Here's the pitch. A liner to left. A single for Velarde. Driving in a run. It's 2-1. Pinch hitting for hitting .260. Here's the pitch.
Wow.
Strike 3.
Nomo does it.
That ends the inning. That's the 8th strikeout for the starter today. 1 run on 3 hits, no errors, and they leave him loaded. And the ball game is over. Los Angeles wins. This is Lon Simmons saying so long and see you tomorrow.
It's a lot of fun, and you can, you can look at the I guess regular season what box scores and stuff like that. So there we go. There's box score. So there's for New York and for Los Angeles. Let's look at the pitching here. So Nomo with 8 strikeouts. David Cohn, right? David Cohn had what? How many did he strike out? 14 and a losing cause. 2-1. Good ball game. Good ball game. All right, let's go back. We'll just exit out of this. So that a little trip down nostalgia lane. So next broadcast, hopefully tomorrow. So it will be one of two things or two things. If anybody's interested, hopefully you are. Looking to see whether Craig Harris delivers the big update for Pocket Pennant Run Baseball. If so, I'll show that. If not, we're going to show off Mike's integrated mod for Out of the Park Baseball 25. And if the Pocket Pennant Run thing happens, we'll do both. So hope you guys had fun tonight. And it's a bit late now, so I'll put up the note again. John put way back there in the and we'll keep putting in the invite or whatever to the Ned McGreevy Discord if you're not a member, and join. And I mean, even if you'd like to be part of the league, just drop your name in, and we'll still decide what baseball engine we're going to use. But let's go ahead and jump out of this. So I'm going to put in the chat. Yeah, it was a good game. How about it, JT? About it. So I'm going to bring up the website really quickly where I got this, because I think you guys will like what's on here. Is it old? That's old. I'll put it in the chat in a minute. I just want to make sure I've got the name right, because there's a lot of cool stuff on here. Yep, here it is. Okay, so let me show this to you guys, and then we'll cut out of here. So, and this is legit. I've bought things from this guy and everything like that. The way it works is if you just download games, it's like really slow. It's really throttled. But for $11.99, that will give you like really fast downloads, for the whole month, and it's worth it. So just under sports games, again, we're all into all kinds of other stuff. If let's just type in baseball to get started. Yeah. So there's the original Baseball Mogul is on here. Radio Baseball, if you guys remember that. There's Epic Baseball, Championship Baseball. There's Old Time Baseball, which I'll show another night. Pretty amazing game, actually. There's Strategic Baseball Simulator, which this one it's free, so just get it, out there. There's TV Sports Baseball. This was a pretty one back in its day. And, of course, Bo Jackson Baseball, Street Sports, ESPN Baseball Tonight, Microsoft Baseball 2001. So just a little hint, though, for you guys. If you don't feel like messing with things like DOSBox, I should show you what to look for here. So let me find Old Time Baseball, because it's something for you to. And before I do that, I'll put the link in then in a second. But I do want to show you something about this, so that way you're not like, I don't want to mess with DOSBox. Well, for a lot of these, you don't have to. This game, I'm looking for the 1994 edition. Can't find this thing anywhere. Pro League Baseball. I remember playing this. It was fun. Came with every season from 1904 to 1994. But cannot find this anywhere. Can't find it here. So there's Earl Weaver Baseball. No, I know I went. There's Micro League Baseball, by the way, guys. You want Micro League Baseball? In fact, I think I can do this one. Yeah. So if you go to a game and it says download easy setup, that's what you want to download, because it's already pre-configured for DOS or for DOSBox. So you just run it. It's all you have to do. But there it is, man. Good old Micro League Baseball. And you can see there's lots of other stuff here for somebody talked about the Micro League Baseball, the Manager's Challenge. It's there. This one you would have to configure for DOSBox. DOSBox is not that hard, really, to mess with. So there's that. But the game thing is split up into all kinds of great, just all kinds of categories and stuff. But as we're largely baseball focused here. Just wanted to show you that, but there's other things too. Like if you're a wrestling fan, there you go. There's micro league wrestling. There's Randy Savage and all that kind of stuff. And I know there's football fans out there. So there we go. It's $11.95 for a month. And so like I won't download it, but like again, this is an easy setup, so I can download it and execute it. And don't have to mess with anything, and you're ready to rock. So a little shot of nostalgia here, which kind of brings us back to full circle to McGreevy and stuff like that. So there's 1,010 just sports games on here, from golf and basketball, 3D World Boxing. We know these two guys up here, right? Don't we? We better. So yeah, there's Aaron versus Ruth. Don't know how many of you remembered that. There's Micro League Action Soccer. Lots of games to check out. All right. Hey, you too, JT. Drop a few dollars GoFundMe for Sportsman Z. Yeah, definitely. I just heard about that, so I will. Thank you, JT. All right, guys. Thank you very much for coming in tonight. Hopefully, we can get some people interested in the McGreevy League, and hope to see you back here, at least some of you, tomorrow night for either Pocket Pennant Run, the integrated mod for Out of the Park 25 by Mike Garland, or both. Until then, there's just way too many people. Rick Guzman, thank you for coming in. Hope you'll come back to the chat. Pesky Paul, always good to see you. Everybody that came in, JT Dutch, Ken Castro, D. Scott Howard was here. Dwayne Martz was here. Just running through this really, really quickly. Robert, thank you for coming on as always. And Mike Garland, again, so cool to have you around here, man. And hopefully become part of the community more and more. And your next time in, you get a wrench. You get to be a moderator. Dan Burke, my favorite Irishman, joined us here tonight. Jeff Hunter was here for a while. John DFW. And going back, there we go. So I think we got everybody. Gents, until the next time, see you around the batting cage. Good night.